You want to start?
Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
And we are live.
We live, baby.
What's
Live.
Welcome. Like I said, for those on Instagram, if you want to come over to YouTube and join the panel, join the discussion topic, yep, you're more than welcome. Today's topic, which my co-host was wondering, it is about monogamy.
Oh shit.
Monogamous relationships versus open relationships, which constitutes polyamory, polygamy, and the swingers club. Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for? I think we're ready for it. Twan, you ready for this?
I don't know.
Crazy. Roscoe, if you want to join the panel, come on over to YouTube. I see that you requested. Join YouTube. His yin, her yang. If you want the link, I have no problems. I will send it to you in your DM. In fact, I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to do that for you right now. Let me make sure he's still in here. Nope, he's gone. So, I don't even think he heard. So today's topic, like I said, is monogamy versus open relationships. And before we begin, we're going to do what we normally do, and we're going to introduce the panelists, starting with the top right corner. Naj.
Is it yours truly? Hello, everyone. I come in peace. My name is Najee. I'm from Planet. No, I'm just playing. Howdy, everyone.
I can't stand this dude. I cannot stand this dude.
Hey, everybody. I'm Najee. I'm an emotional awareness specialist. You already know what I do. If you don't know, tap in and let's make it happen. I'm going to keep it simple. I ain't going to go too deep this time. I ain't going to put on my professional voice. I'm just going to keep it simple and short and cut.
All right. Huggy Juice Twan. Want to introduce yourself?
What's good, everyone? Name's Twan. I'm from Baltimore. So I'm here for the bullshit. Let's go.
Man, this is right, but I cannot wait to see Twan's response. And let me tell you, when I did these questions, Twan, oh man, it was hard because I already knew your answer for everything, which is going to be nope, hell no. So I
why you want to play with me today?
Because it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
I gotta be on the road this week. You know what I mean? I gotta have a good, clear head.
Not my problem.
The bullshit.
Not my problem.
You know what? Okay, let's go. That's why
that's a you issue. So, with that said,
let's go.
Thumbs up is a perfect way to enter this live and to start.
Y'all see how my co-hosts do?
This broadcast going. Say that again.
Y'all see how my co-hosts do me?
Yeah, they see it. So what?
Oh, okay. Oh, she want her shit today. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I am ready. I got much attitude. I am.
You must have got some sleep today.
Yes.
She got a lot of sleep for her birthday. That's what it was. It was her birthday. She got a lot of sleep.
Oh, okay.
My birthday was last week, Thursday, dude.
But that makes a difference because you were able to get a lot of sleep to recover from Wednesday.
I nap every day.
Oh, never mind. Not till 3 though. Not till 3.
You're right. Well, with that said, let's get those likes up. If you have not yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can be updated on more content to come. So the first question, and those on the live, which my co-host Najee is going to be interactive on.
Oh yeah, I'm about to send you the thing right now.
Because I'm not good at multitasking. So the first question of the day is, are people who prefers monogamy insecure?
Swan, you want to go first?
Mm-mm. You already know what my answer gonna be, so no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. My answer, I would say, yeah, I think they are.
Why am I not surprised? Want to elaborate and
Yeah, 100%.
explain?
Because hold on, oh now,
You got to mute your Instagram.
okay. Well, I said that just due to the fact of, well, it's a two-part street. I'll say this: the people who want the other person that they're into to be monogamous alongside with them, I would say those are the folks who's insecure. I think the people who are like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with nobody else because I'm into you. Not that's no matter what you got going on. That don't have nothing to do with me as long as you're safe. Then I think they're not insecure. But I think when it comes to wanting another person to do it just because you want to do it, and it's okay for people who have preferences. Like by all means, go with that. But if it's going to the root of why, if you get to the root of why a person feels that way or why that person is into that, is literally boils down to some type of, they don't like how they feel within themselves if the person that they're into is dealing with somebody else because it triggers a sense of abandonment, or they're going to leave me, or I'm not good enough, that type of wound. So I think that's where it comes from, why I say that.
Okay, so for those who are just coming into Instagram, welcome to the live. We are live on YouTube on our platform, His Yin, Her Yang Media TV. So if you want to join the panel, you are more than welcome to do so on YouTube. So hop on over to YouTube. Let's hear your voices. I'm sorry, Nadia, I just waved to you as if you weren't even on the live. My bad.
You good?
If you want to join in and voice your perspective, your ideas, it's a welcoming platform. There's no agree to disagree. I just want to know what you think on these pre-made questions. So the first question that I have is: are people who prefers monogamy insecure? Of course, our Najee said, yeah, they're insecure. They're not emotionally regulated, and they're stingy, and they're cheap, and then they just want to keep the loving to themselves. But now we're going to hear Juan's perspective. Tuan, what are your thoughts? Are people who prefer monogamy insecure?
I don't think so. I don't think they are, because they wouldn't be in monogamy if they was. It's
They
not
wouldn't.
like if it's a real relationship. You know what I mean? Where
Wait. Start all over. I must have missed something. What's not a real relationship?
no,
Monogamy?
yeah, as far as one on one with in a relationship with one on one with a woman. Monogamy is like if you dealing with multiple people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a relationship, but it's not a relationship where it's.
No. The question is, are people who prefer monogamy insecure?
And I said no, I don't think so, because
Okay,
because they deal with multiple people. How can you do it?
monogamous
Monogamy
people
only
are
means
only dealing with one person.
All right,
One.
oh,
not poly.
all right, I misunderstood what you're saying. All right, no, I don't think so. No,
Why?
Oh, you have to get off that easy. Come on, why?
Why not? You ain't gonna elaborate. You just keep it.
no, I don't really. I don't think they. I don't. I mean, I don't really think they insecure with this. With you talking about? I mean, are you saying they're insecure? Are they insecure with their self or insecure with the other person?
Are they insecure in nature, which is why they prefer monogamy as opposed to an open relationship?
No, I just think they just want to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, they don't want to be tied down.
Monogamous is one dude, go get a Huggy Juice. We'll
They
wait.
prefer to deal with other people. They don't prefer.
No,
No, we're talking about monogamy. Mono, one.
no.
So all right, so what? All right,
Monogamous relationship is one-on-one.
right.
You were in a
So
monogamous relationship.
And
Go ahead.
do he decide to deal with multiple people, or he
No,
just decide to
dude,
just deal with one
dude, the
person?
question is right there on the screen.
I'm looking at the
Are
question. I'm
people,
asking
I'm
you.
asking, I'm telling you, are people who prefer monogamy, one-on-one relationship, do you think they will be considered insecure because they prefer monogamy as opposed to the open relationship with multiple people?
Hmm. I still say no. No.
But we get that, but why? Because when we answer the why, then you start to go into the polyamory. So why do you feel like people aren't insecure when they want monogamous relationships?
Just something they want to do. If that's, I mean, everybody makes their decisions on something based on, you know what I mean, they want to experience. You know what I'm saying? People
Mm-hmm.
they might just want to experience that type of life. They might just, you know what I mean, want to see if that type of life is a little bit better than just being regular. You know what I'm saying? So they might want to experience it. So I don't think it's insecure situation. No.
That makes sense. Trinity, what you think?
Oh, I forgot. I was trying to keep up with Twan's answer.
But
Do
no,
I think that
like
we
I
are
said, no.
insecure?
No, like I said, no, I don't think so. No, for us, my answer, no, I don't think so. They just want to experience things.
I think that I don't think insecure would be the thing as much as a jealous natured being, right? Because I'm not insecure, but I'm not sharing either. You know what I mean? Um, I think people who practice monogamy are kind of smart because there are STDs out there, and everyone is not sexually responsible every time,
Mm.
right? So I think it's more for me a thing of jealous nature because I'm not sharing, as well as a sense of safety, health wise. So
You think that's the reason why they do it because they're jealous? That's why you think?
No, she's talking about her.
No. Oh, all right, all right. You talking
yeah,
about?
I practice monogamy, one-on-one relationships,
Mhm.
because I do have a jealous nature. I don't want to think about what my guy is doing with the next woman because I'm very visual. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, is he doing this with her like he does with me? I would become insecure for sure because I would, in my mind, be comparing me to her, who I probably don't even know, right? Because we're not kicking it, we're not hanging out together, we're not spending time hours on the phone getting to know each other. I just know her name and probably like, yeah. So am I insecure? I could become insecure if I were in an open relationship, but by nature I am a jealous being. I'm stingy, and I'm not trying to share.
I definitely get that for sure.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
that the jealousy aspect would be rooted in some type of insecurity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you're never jealous of anybody that you feel like you're above. Like I always use the example like when somebody driving the car is not jealous. I'm jealous of that person on the bike, but the person on the bike
Right.
will be jealous of the person driving the car because it's like I want to be in that position. I feel like I'm not enough type of thing. So I get it. I definitely understand, especially with the safety and the jealousy nature and whatnot. So I completely understand.
Yeah, and people are just like opening legs and swinging, you know, penises all around. There's no sense of sexual responsibility. Even when we have these discussions about, single mothers, and they're like, "Oh, what do you expect me not to have sex?" That's a stupid ass response. How about protecting yourself against pregnancies? That's a start.
Yeah.
So contraception is not even a thing of um, where it's a part of a discussion when it comes to dating and relationships. it's either abstinence or let's be for the streets. So
Yeah, I think the thing with that is it's interesting, just society and the emphasis on sex. And my biggest thing is like how I am single, like I'm a bit like if I'm not going out just having sex with everybody while I'm single, you're not going to like, oh, now that the relationship is open, now I'm about to go out and have sex with a bunch of people. Like it's one of those things where people like if you're not naturally that way, if you're not naturally into being with a whole bunch of different people, you're not going to be that way whether you're single or not single. But I think people get that kind of confused where like being open or being in an open relationship means you're going about to have sex with a whole bunch of different people. And I'm like, what children are y'all messing? That's what kids, that's a childish behavior to want to go out and seek sex and have sex with this person, that person, this person, that person. It's like, at what point do you realize like the sexual pleasure that you're chasing is really just you feeling like you're not enough? So now you need the external validation, the reassurance to almost like make yourself feel better. And I think that's where the biggest misunderstanding, especially in my experience, when it comes to like people being open, is like they always assume you just go out and have sex with a whole bunch of different people. And I'm like, nah, not really.
I don't think it's about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's about because everybody in an open that they just in an open relationship. I don't think it's because we in an open relationship, let's just go have sex with different people. I don't think it's about that. I think it's just something people just want to explore. Some people don't want to be tied down to one person. You know what I mean? So they want to explore other shit.
That makes sense. Some people choose not to settle. I just choose not to settle.
Right.
So
I know my
I think, my conundrum, right, when it comes to this polyamorous or open relationships, swingers club, and all of that, right, is that there's a lack of trust in the person that they're with, because it's like a woman in a woman's mind, at least in my mind, the idea of giving permission for men, for my guy to sleep around or sleep with whoever, whenever, it's like I'm setting myself up to fail, because now it's like I gave him permission, and there's the thing where men are, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but this is the case, right? Where men are not sexually disciplined. They sleep with whoever they can. So if I give my guy permission to sleep around on me because we have an open relationship, well, I'm going to feel insecure whenever he's not around me. Because in my mind, it's like, who is he sleeping with? Now, he could be very well not sleeping with anybody. He could be at his cousin Momo's house. He could be at his boy Andre's house. But I'm not there with him. I don't know. But what I do know is that I gave this man permission to sleep around. So is this the night he's taking me up on that?
I think the key with that, you can go for it.
No, I think it is if they all in agreement or whatever. Not saying you, Trinity, you know what I'm saying, but I think if they, because I don't think you'll agree to shit like that. But I think like far as any other person that's in another relationship or whatever, or however you look at it, I think all of them in the same agreement. You know what I mean? Whereas though no one has any reasons to get jealous of the next person. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody all in agreement. Even the main chick, she's in agreement because she agreed to it. Now I can see if she didn't agree to it, then I understand. But she agreed. Everyone agreed to it. So whatever he decides to do, whatever, she shouldn't be sitting up there be worrying about like, damn, well, what chick, this and that. If they all in agreement, you understand what I'm saying? So I don't think it's that. I just think everybody's in agreement in the situation, and then people just want to explore and do their thing. You know what I mean? But me personally, if you willing to do that, why not just be single? and you just do what you want to do. That's how I see it as. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I mean, for being in a monogamous relationship and then you decide you want to sleep with this person, like I said, I don't think it's about sleeping with this person, sleep with that person. I think a lot of people get it mixed, confused about what a monogamous relationship is. You know what I mean? But that's if they decide to do it, they decide to do it. That's their agreement. That's what they choose to do. That's on them. You know what I mean? But I look at it as if you want to do all that, you just be single and you just do what you want to do and settle everybody. You ain't got to worry about nobody catching feelings, nobody this or getting upset about this or that. You ain't got to worry about that because I'm single. I can do what I want.
Hey, I agree. Hey, I get it. I get it. I think that's why, again, that's why I don't believe in the whole concept of relationship. You're always single in my mind because the only relationship you're actually in is in your head. So I think that's one of the things, especially when it comes to like open relationship and actually experiencing it. I think the key is really having that communication and the safety to communicate because what people don't realize, especially when they have like the monogamous view on open relationships, is coming from like a skewed perspective. So it's like in the open relationship, if you and your boyfriend or your husband, or if y'all are cool and y'all are partners and y'all have that safety, he'll tell you. He's like, it's not one of those things where it's like I have to think about if he's with the next person or not. Nah, he'll let you know if it's a healthy dynamic in which they can honestly come and talk to one another. Then that's the dynamic it'll be. So you won't have to worry about what he's doing, he'll let you know because there's no fear in him expressing. Most of the time, people are scared to fully express because there's a judgment there and the person's going to treat them different. So now they're sneaking and they don't want to tell you because if they tell you, then you might leave. And that's where the disconnect is. I think a lot of times, especially when it comes in today's society, most of these people or monogamous folks who aren't into polyamory or open relationship is due to the fact that they've been cheated on before. And it's like, oh, yeah, I got cheated on, so I don't ever want to go through that. And it's like you only got hurt because you expected them to be into you and only you. So now you create an attachment to the idea of him only being into me. So now you're finding out he's been with another. That's where the hurt is because you placed those expectations. So now you're thinking, okay, everybody in the polyamory or the monogamous or open relationship is going to move the same way. When it's not that way. When you're cool with the person, you're open to telling them any and everything because there's no fear there. I think for me, the open relationship stems from being the sense of safety. It's like when you experience a person and y'all have a dope connection, I'm not going to be like, yeah, don't fully experience this person. Not even on a sexual thing. Don't fully experience this person because you might leave me. And for me, I never want to restrict a person from experiencing whatever is meant for them to experience. Like, I'm going to be there for you no matter what. My biggest thing is I'm the same way, whether we're friends or in a relationship or not. I just stay true to me. So me staying true to me is not based on you being into only me and only me, or you not having sex with nobody else. No, at the end of the day, it's my relationship to me, and it has nothing to do with your relationship to other people. But that's just how I view things.
Awesome. Well, first and foremost, hold on. Welcome, Rumble.
His thing is muted.
And I think,
What's happening?
Like, if people, like, if they're in a monogamous relationship or whatever, like, you know how they say all men cheat, right? So I think it's like by them being in a monogamous relationship, if a person decides to go out and do something, whatever, you can't say a motherfucker cheated.
Yeah, because it's an agreement.
Right, exactly.
It's an arrangement, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So before, hold on, real quick. Najee, when
Najee, read that comment on Instagram, Najee.
Okay, we're gonna make believe it was your idea, even though that's exactly what I was gonna tell him to do. But okay, Huggy Twan.
What if you're in a relationship and the guy believes that he can have multiple women, but he feels like it puts him in danger for you? Then I don't think that's for me. I feel like
wait, what's the question? Hold on.
Oh, I was reading on IG. My bad. The question is, what if you're in a relationship and the guy believes is that wait, hold on, let me bring it closer. What if you're in a relationship and the guy's belief is that he can have multiple women, but he feels it puts him in danger for you to have another man? Yeah, that's one of those things where he's projecting his own insecurities as a way to control you from living your life instead of while he has the freedom to do whatever he wants. It's at the end of the day, people Man, I can go on. People, the way people view relationships nowadays is not really an authentic, healthy space. It's like a controlling space. I don't want you to do something, but I can do something. Especially when it comes to guys being like, men can naturally have sex with multiple women. Women can't have sex with multiple guys. And it's like, no, the dynamic in which you're viewing sex from is not coming from a place of understanding. Having sex with multiple people, if you're trying to have babies, makes sense. But most of these guys aren't having sex with all these different women as a way to make babies. They're having sex as a form of pleasure. So to be like he feels like his life will be in danger based on you having sex with other guys, that sounds good, but in theory it's not. Why would it be in danger with you having sex with another guy? That wouldn't make sense to me.
Just like I said, there's no sexual responsibility with contraceptives. So he trusts himself to be able to wrap up, right? But he doesn't trust her to have the other guy wrap up. So I could, it was the same thing that I said earlier, like, which is why I can't share. You know, there's a lack of trust. You know, you have alcohol, and you know, and you may have some bud, depending on who you are. You may have some shrooms, some coke. I don't know what your vices are. I mean, you know about a judge, right? Yeah, I know some people. I just know that I know some people. Not personal experiences. Living vicariously through others. So that's when I said earlier, where there's a lack of trust in the partner to be responsible.
And then at that point, then if there's a lack of trust in the partner, then
why be with them?
That's why are you at that point why are you even manipulating this person into believing you guys are in a relationship if you don't trust her enough to, then it's like, oh, it's the guys I don't trust, but it's realistically you don't trust her ability to choose correctly and the type of guys that she chose, because she actually chose you and you don't really trust yourself. That's why you're projecting that onto her, brother. We don't get all into that.
Like, she chose me.
All right, Rumble, welcome.
Rumble, what's good? How are you?
I'm all right. How's everybody doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Magically delicious still.
I like that background, Nashi. That's tight.
Appreciate
it. Yeah, I did it. You know, I went and I just like slapped on some brown and tan and gray, and you know, Twa, why you look like I'm lying?
Because you are.
Twa looking like I'm lying. I don't like that.
Because you are.
So, Rumble, first question, you made it. In your opinion, are people who prefer monogamy insecure?
I mean, I think that's a very strong way to frame the question. I think that monogamy is a framework that exists in Western culture to the point where a lot of people don't know anything else. So, and because that is what is projected as desirable, that is what people lean towards. I think that, like I said, has less to do with insecurity and more of upbringing and cultural influences. Now, that said, when you juxtapose that with things polyamorous in nature, I can see where that question would come from, because usually people who are advocating for that polyamorous lifestyle are doing so because what you guys are alluding to is that lack of reciprocity and respect, and really wanting to operate under those premises under the guise of, hey, I can really do whatever I want.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, that does make sense. And I like the fact that you brought up culture, Rumble, because I really truly believe that the reason why we in the States are so against it at large is because it goes against our own culture, right? Which is monogamy, right? Man, woman, children, big house, white picket fence, and a dog, maybe a cat. If we were in another culture, in another country, where it's the norm, then monogamy, I think, would feel foreign to me. But we ain't there, we here, so I can be stingy.
Yeah.
I ain't sharing.
Sharon is Karen.
And who got pink white fence?
I was gonna lie and say me, but I ain't got no fence. All
Oh,
right,
okay.
so I got a gate. So here we go. Here's the next question.
I was waiting on you to try to come up with that lie too.
I'm ignoring you right now. Here we go. All right, so for those who are on Instagram, welcome to the live. If you want to join the panel, hop on over to YouTube at His Yin Her Yang Media TV, and you can join the discussion. We would love to hear your perspective. We love hearing what's on people's minds. There's no agreeing or disagreeing. We just want to know what you think. We want to know how you feel on certain things. We mostly want to know what you think, but there are freely questions too that we are interested in. So join the live. Come on over to YouTube. If you have questions, you can put them in the question box, and Najee, he will read them out when we get that pause to be able to do so.
Oh yeah.
But in the meantime, in between time, here's the next question for you guys. All right? Can there be a true emotional connection when there's more than two people involved? Twan, you go first.
Really? You gonna pick me to go?
Yeah, really?
I'm all the way down here at the end with my man. You know what I mean? Najee up at the top. So I mean, what's going on?
Hey, last time I went first.
Time out. Hold on.
No.
Time out. Twan, you forgot to say no Diddy.
Oh, no Diddy.
You at the top. Dang, you at the bottom? That boy Twan the bottom now?
No Diddy, my bad. But hold up. You said, can it be emotional?
Can there
It's
be?
on the screen.
Go ahead. Naj.
You want me to go? I go.
No. I mean, you can read the question. I like to see
yeah.
it squirm.
Can there be a true emotional connection? I have to wait when there's more than two people involved.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, there you go, Twan. That boy get it.
Okay, how so? I'm interested now.
I mean, somebody gonna catch feelings. The longer the way y'all, long way y'all deal with each other, the more y'all deal with each other and keep rolling, however y'all kicking it with each other, somebody gonna catch feelings. Somebody gonna throughout the bunch. You know what I mean? It may not be yo, but it might be yo, or it might be her. You know what I'm saying? Females majority, they always wind up catching feelings when they dealing with someone. So that's because they're emotional creatures as well. You know what I mean? Dudes, we'll catch feelings, but it depends on how we deal with that person. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a possibility they can catch feelings with multiple people.
Okay. Najee, if you don't mind, can you put the link inside of the comment section for me on YouTube? Yeah. So, and then I can try to pin it somehow.
I got you on the right now.
Because being as though I'm on live here, which I don't have that much time here, so when this live ends, because I only got an hour, I'll be able to toggle.
You want to put the link to join or the link to? Okay.
The link to join.
Okay.
So that we can pin it. So Twan, you said that you believe that it is in fact possible for them to have emotional connections, because when you spend time with someone, they kind of grow on you like a wart, right? And you're like, oh, let me trust with this little wart, and you become attached to it. It becomes a part of you, and yeah, I can see that. All right, Rumble. Can there be a true emotional connection when there's more than two people involved? What's your take?
Woo! Buckle up.
Hold on.
Strap it.
All right, first
I'm ready.
I'm going to give you the quintessential infuriating answer, and that is yes and no. And I'll say that when we're having this conversation, to me, it's important to differentiate polyamorous with polygamy. When we're talking about the opposite of monogamy, to me, polygamy is the opposite of monogamy, not a polyamorous relationship. And that's why I say yes and no. In a polyamorous relationship, I don't think that a true emotional connection can be established because it's chaotic in nature and there's no structure. So it's really a energetic exchange, and you don't really understand how your energy is being transferred, nor do you understand the energy that you're taking on, because you're trusting your partner to be transparent with their sexual dealings, which, let's be honest, that's not always going to happen. And when we're talking about polygamy, though, I think that a true emotional connection can be established because that's more based on intimacy. That is structure and, a relationship based on devotion and
Question right there.
subjugation.
What's the difference between the two? Because
Well, I mean, we can look it up, but from my understanding, a polyamorous relationship is an open relationship,
okay.
where polygamy is more based in marriage vows. It's more of a contractual thing or commitment. The same as a marriage union in a monogamous relationship, and specifically those, from my knowledge, are usually where there's one man and multiple wives.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're saying the one man and multiple wives is more, that's where it's a yes to where there's an emotional connection. But when it's open, there's no emotional connection.
Right, because those connections are ever changing. Like you might be dating two people this week, and then your significant other might be dating two people this week, and then 3 weeks from now, it's switching. It's a Russian roulette of energy. So how can there be a connection? And this is
basically what you said. Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Almost. I mean, and this is where I tell dudes specifically who be promoting that open relationship, because let's be honest, it's more beneficial to guys to meet a woman that says, yeah, let's be open, because now the dude don't have no accountability to even pretend that they're going to be in a monogamous relationship. But what guys don't fail to realize is, when you are with that woman and in the time when you think that is your alone time, she's not even sharing her perspective. She's sharing the perspectives of the other dudes that she's pillow talking with. So you're really in a relationship with more guys than you are more girls.
Interesting.
Okay, I like that actually, and I can see that as a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, yes and no. Yes, in that if a guy is with more than one woman, I believe that he can extend his emotional self between the two women. But for women, we only bond one man at a time. You understand what I'm saying? So for a woman to get emotionally attached to the next man, that means that she would have had to have, less emotional attachment to the first guy. Because think about it. If all things went well, right? Why would she be going out, especially if it's not a part of her nature, if it's not a part of her bring up? That's Quell Tor. Good day, Quell. How are ya?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's good, broski?
What's going on?
What's going on?
So yeah, I think that a guy can extend himself emotionally between two women, because I believe that he can love them for different reasons. You know what I mean? As far as a woman loving both guys, I personally can't see it. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just speaking from biology. It's a biological thing. Every time a woman sleeps with a man, she bonds with him. But in order for her to sleep with a man, she would have to be unattached already. So that's the only reason why I came to that conclusion. Hello, Quell. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are ya?
I'm good. I just woke up from a nap. My leg was a little sore, so I had my wife massage it, and then next thing you know, I was out like a light. I was like, "Oh my god, man!" And I ain't realize it, boy. It was like before you know it, I was down. I was down for the count.
Everybody took a nap today. Let me find out today was take a nap day.
This heat, that's what it is. This heat ain't no joke. I don't know where y'all at, but it's hot out here in triple digits. But I'll go too. I think
Nah, you don't be trying to act like you only person getting heat out there.
I don't know in Baltimore. I don't know how to get where y'all at. I can only speak from my experience.
Nigga, it was hot. It was hot.
How hot was it out there? Triple digits?
It was hundreds.
Oh, it's in the hundreds out there, so it's a heat wave everywhere. I just know where I'm at. It was what 108 today.
You try to act like you the only person getting heat around here.
I'm the only person that know I'm experiencing. I know y'all on the East Coast, so it might be a little different for y'all. It's hot still.
I'm messing with you now.
But yeah, I think you can definitely have a true emotional connection with more people involved. It's the same with like having multiple kids. That's an example I use. Is do you not have a relationship with your kids? You can only I can only love this kid to this extent, but I can't fully love you because if I love you, I'm gonna take away from him. And it's like, no, you love and you connect to people based on who they are, not for what they can do for you. I think a lot of times people are looking at it from the lens of what this person is doing for me. So now this person isn't giving me enough. So now I need to go find somebody else who can give me more than what they're getting. And it's like, no, it's not like that. It's one of those things where it's more of an authentic connection when you're genuinely connecting to a person for who they are and not looking for them to be a certain way so you can get something from them. Then it can actually be a true emotional connection. And it doesn't have to be predicated based on sex. Everybody's looking at it through the lens of sex when it's not a sexual thing. Your connection is established prior to ever having sex. That's what people don't get. You have to have some type of connection first to even get to the sexual aspect. But most people don't pay attention to that because we've just been taught that it's a sex thing. It's all about sex, which I get it. It sounds good. But in the real emotional connection, sex isn't based on the sex doesn't define the emotional connection itself. Even when like women and bonding to guys, having sex with a woman having sex with a guy doesn't mean she's going to bond to that guy. I know women who have sex with guys as a way to escape. They're trauma, they're hurting. They need the dopamine rush. It's like, I need a feel good fix. I need to have sex. It's not one of those things where I think society as a whole thinks people are having sex just because there's, oh, I want to insert my penis inside of you. No, a lot of people are traumatized and they're using sex as a way to feel closer to somebody. They want to feel loved. They want to feel accepted. The only way they can do that is by having sex. It's like one of those things where we don't understand the mechanism that's governing why that person is having sex with another person. We just focus on the act itself. They're having sex. So that means they're spreading themselves thin and whatnot. But that's not the case. I think the biggest thing is really understanding the why. And most of the times when you are able to have a true connection with a person, it's not why as a way to receive. It's just why as a way to understand and as a way to connect.
I.e. Holly Berry on Monster Ball.
I ain't never seen it, so I don't even know.
But I'm confused though, what you said, Najee, in that I get that, women can have sexual intercourse without any emotional attachment. We have OnlyFans chicks, right? We have streetwalkers, we have porn stars. So yeah, I get that. But what I can't seem to process is the idea that if a woman is with a man that she's already emotionally tied to, connected to, that she's going to have random sex outside the relationship. It's just not clicking in my mind space.
Wait, what's not clicking? That they're going to randomly have sex with a random person?
If I'm like if she's good in the relationship with who she's with, and it's all good, right? Just to have her go out and sleep with another guy, it doesn't have to be a random dude, right? I mean,
It's the same thing what people do when they break up, quote unquote. It's like you break up with the person, but you got to understand what's actually being broken up is just your perspective of that person. So the emotional attachment that you associated to that person was really just you placing that person on this pedestal according to the relationship y'all had. So and you breaking up with somebody and then finding somebody else to have sex with, it's the same exact thing. People always do it. Like even the people who's monogamous, they're not really monogamous because monogamy just means one marriage, but people are having
I rebuke.
Huh?
I rebuke.
But it's the truth though. That's all. Mono means one and monogamy, gamy means marriage. That's all it was designed for, one marriage. You literally had sex to consummate the marriage, but people like now it's one person at a time when it's like, nah, that's not monogamous at that point. But
one person at a time is wild.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all monogamy. It's like, okay, we had a conversation, we're together, we're having sex. Now we broke up, we had another conversation. I'm finding somebody else to have sex with. That's all it is. It's just one.
But it's all about perspective, though. I think a lot of times what our perspective on relationships is it's almost like a emotional bankruptcy type thing. So I think a lot of times we get so caught up into like a lot of we go so long without it that we crave it. So it's like it's a lot of times where people get so attached to an emotion that they go through a certain amount of a certain period without it, that you develop a habit of I gotta have it type thing, almost an addiction to it. So I just think a lot of times we do this mind thing, and it's like you're not really mine. I never really own you. I never really have you. I only have what you give to me. I only have what you offer to me, and that may be a lie. So I think that we have to kind of change our perspectives on I'm just enjoying my time with you, my space with you, what you offer to me. Um, and so I don't get so attached to it. Like I had a conversation with my wife about a lot of this stuff, and it's like a lot of times is that as a man, one thing I don't do is that I don't think about who she's been with in the past,
Not supposed to.
because I
Thank
think
you.
that's one of the most
Childish.
honestly, that's one of the most homosexual things that you possibly could do.
Wait a minute. Wait. Why does it have to be a homosexual?
Yeah, I thought he was
Because
gonna
you're
say
thinking
childish.
about
He said
another
homosexual.
man putting their penis inside of your woman. I'm
You're
not
not
thinking
supposed.
about that.
You're not
Facts.
supposed to. Yeah, you're not supposed to. I mean,
Facts.
if you with your wife, you married. Yeah, I mean, whatever. You're not supposed to be thinking about what the next nigga had did when he
That's
was with
wild.
you, with her. You know what I mean? If
But what
you
I'm saying,
doing that,
that's
if
what
you doing
niggas
some
do
shit
though.
like that, you're a weird ass
Insecure
nigga.
little
If you doing,
boys.
yeah, if you doing shit like that, you're a weird ass nigga. I don't care what nobody say. You weird as fuck if you doing that. You
So
know what
let
I'm
me ask you
saying?
a question though, guys. You, Swan and Quell, would it be the same attitude if it was like she's doing it now type thing, sleeping with other people now? Would you be like worried about it then if that was the case? Because
If we had that
I get that
conversation,
her
no.
past is her past. I get that. But what if the past is not the past, was actually the present?
If
Nah,
we
that's
if
not
we
okay.
if we had that conversation, then I'm okay with it. If we didn't, I'm not upset about it. See,
Okay.
the thing is that look, most people, I don't believe in cheating. Most people get mad not because someone did something with someone else, it's because they lied about it. They're
That's all
more
she
worried about the
heard.
lie rather than somebody actually doing something. Because the thing
Okay,
is,
well, don't get too much into that because that's my next question.
oh, okay, okay.
You
Shit,
jumping the gun, well, you
I
ain't
ain't
got
gonna.
a point.
Shit, I'm gonna tell you like sh- both with me. Fuck that.
Wait, say that
Both,
again?
both with me. Fuck all that. Yeah, I mean, you fucked up. Yeah, it's out of here. I ain't got time for all that shit. Fuck it, it's both.
Tuan
Your
is
ass is,
funny.
your ass is ding ding. Bitch is dead. Out of here. Done. I ain't got time.
Swan
Man,
said
fuck
blah
all
blah blah
that
blah
shit.
blah blah. I don't
Yeah.
hear you. Blah
Nobody
blah.
got time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna listen. At this age, day, and time, man. Nigga ain't got time for none of that shit. I mean, I was married twice.
Damn, you been married twice?
I was
Boy,
married twice,
it's time for you to start opening up and be in an
and
open
both
relationship.
and both of them two goofy motherfuckers feel like they want to do some goofy shit, I'll holler at you later. Plain and
But Twan,
simple.
so do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying
Yeah,
Yeah,
that people have to accept that. What I'm saying
yeah,
is that I expect people to be people. The problem is
exactly,
that we put trust in people as if they can't hurt us. We're
exactly.
human. We should expect human beings to do that shit to us.
Yeah, that's why I say it gets to a point now. Like when you done been through it, you've been through it a few times. Enough is enough. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So if you feel like you want to jump out there and open your fucking legs to another motherfucker, you better stay the fuck on over there. Plain and simple. Cause I
And
ain't
I
got
agree
time
with you.
for it. I ain't got
I
Why
agree
time for
with
y-
that.
why
you.
Just
y'all
plain
so
and simple.
why y'all
You know what
so
I'm saying?
go ahead.
Cause I'm not listen, I'm not into the relationship, the having multiple people. I'm not into that. I'm into, you know what I mean, deal with that one person. That's what I'm into. If you can't deal with that one person and deal with the what comes with it, I holler at you. You ain't the one for me. That's just plain and simple. I don't got time to be sitting up there because everybody got different personalities. You know what I mean? You gotta
that's
sit up there,
amazing.
you gotta sit up there and figure out everybody personalities. You gotta deal with this and deal with that. I don't got time to deal with that shit.
Well, y'all make it so difficult. I'm like, damn, have
No,
you
it's
ever
not. It's not. It's not.
I get
It's
it
not.
though. I get it
It's
though, because you never
yeah,
actually been in it. So you're looking
yeah.
out from the
It's
outside looking
yeah.
in and whatnot. So I get it. But
It's. I
dealing
mean,
with
it's not
multiple
about
persons,
that.
you only
It's
have
just.
one friend. Like you have me and Trinity are a different person. Like it's not a matter of dealing with multiple. It's never mind.
But
No,
Never
I'm
not
mind.
just
but
saying.
not
Listen. No, but
everybody
see. All
everybody
right. I'll put it to you like this. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'll put it to you like
mm,
this. Dealing with you and Trinity is totally different levels. You understand what I'm saying? Being in a monogamous relationship dealing with multiple different women is different personalities of different other people. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta settle different people needs. I don't got time for all that shit. Cause if one don't happy, then you go to that. I don't got time for all that shit. If you gonna do, just be single. Just be single and do you. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit, I ain't got time for
but
all that shit worried about why she's mad or why this and that. Fuck, what? Who got time for all that? I ain't got time for
I'm gonna
all
let
that.
bro get
No.
in here.
So
I got
I let it be. Let that shit head to the
No,
young
I get it. I
motherfuckers.
definitely get it. I
You know what
get
I mean?
it.
Let that shit head to the young motherfuckers who want to be in there, who thinks that shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? When we up in that age, first of all, when we up in that age, we shouldn't be even thinking about no fucking poly or whatever relationship when we up in that age. First of
Why
all,
not?
we should
Why
be
not?
chill.
Like, so
Hold on,
let me
Man, we
ask.
should be
Rumbles
we
trying to say
should
I
when
think
we up
bro
in that
trying
you
to get
should
in
be
here.
you should be either if you married, you should be laying back chilling with your wife, you know what I mean, doing what you do. If you're not, enjoy life, cruise the world, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Live
So
that single life.
Twan, what if you have right?
wait, Trent. I think Rumble was gonna say something before you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
my bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
no, I was gonna say, I gotta dip out real quick. I'll be back in like 10, 15 minutes if y'all still on. But I did wanted
Oh,
to add this caveat to the conversation which I was talking about, because the thing that we're missing that I see when we're talking about the difference between polyamorous and polygamy is children. In a polyamorous situation, children is gonna be chaotic.
okay. So you know
Right.
what? Since you're leaving, let's address between you and Quell. Y'all getting on my nerves. Okay, y'all was looking over my
Come
shoulder
on, man.
when I was writing my goddamn questions. So go ahead, Rumble. Just answer the daggone question now.
No, I
Do
mean that's I just
children fare better in traditional relationships or non-traditional relationships? Why and why not?
they're definitely going to fare better in traditional relationships because that's how we all got here. Whether that be the mother and father stayed together, every human on, let's say 99.97% of humans got here VNP. So if we're going to sustain humanity, which means unions of men and women together, then to me it just only makes sense that the way that that's going to be most optimally achieved is if you're shown that example from an early age of what
Okay.
that
Yeah.
looks like and how to
I,
accomplish it.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I think our lack of community is why poly relationships don't work out. I think because most people don't know how to dwell with one another, let in a monogamous relationship, let alone adding an extra person. Um, because we don't trust one another, because we don't see ourselves in one another, and because most people have a very selfish way of loving and living, that's why it doesn't work. Because most of the time it's always about me and what I can get. It's never about serving another person, and that's what relationships are, is serving. But we make it about us.
Yeah, I agree
Mm-hmm.
100%. It's no, I
Yeah.
tell people you don't get into a relationship to do what's best for the other person. We get into a relationship to do what's best for ourselves, but we have to almost like manipulate that person into believing it's a we thing when it's really not a we thing. It's a you and me thing. And people get that confused because like, well, I wouldn't have done that to you. And it's like, no, you're expecting your partner to be the version of you that you're not being for yourself. That's why you're expecting them to be that way. And that's why you feel some type of way whenever they do something that doesn't align with what you would do, because you're not actually trying to connect with them for who they are. You're trying to connect with them as a
For
way to
their
receive
pocket.
something. It's a transactional thing. It's not a loving thing. That's why I tell people you don't actually love the person you're in a relationship with, because the only person you're in a relationship with is you. But as a way to go against your relationship to yourself, you try to be with another person. Now you want them to show up and be the version of you that you're not being to yourself. So I think honestly, realistically, I think children fare better in non-traditional relationships than they do in traditional relationships, because there's a lot more pressure. Because when we get with one person, we put the pressure on them to be our everything. So if I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm in a monogamous relationship with you, I'm going to expect for you to be the version of the girl that I used to mess with, the other girl I used to talk to, this girl, that girl. Now since I'm obligated to you, I have all this pressure on you to expect you to be a certain way. And most
Hmm.
people, a lot of women can't handle that pressure just due to the fact it's not something that they want. It's one of those things, you're putting this on me. Now I have to do this. Now I have to do that. Now I have to work. Now I have to do this. It's a sense of force. Now you're being forced to do something. And I
Hmm.
think when it comes to children, children don't understand the difference between mommy one and mommy two. Children don't understand the difference between male one and male two. We just create this concept in our minds that kids can't handle that. When in
Hmm.
reality, kids only know energy. They know my mom is happy. He's happy when he's around. The kid, I can play with him and I can play with her. I can play. It's about
But
fun for
but it's
them.
because we try to lie to them, though, Najee. A lot of
Oh yeah.
times, a lot of times, people, it's almost the thing of Santa Claus and everything else. The thing, me and my wife had this discussion. I'm not telling my kids the stories about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and any of those things, because those were devastating for me. Because the older I got, I'm just like, well, why? I was better off not knowing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the longest, you're saying, you telling me a fat white guy travels the world in one night, gives gifts to all these kids, and it's like, how is that possible? So it's like, I'd rather to be honest with them than to pretty much tell them that it's okay to lie to them, or to lie to people. So I'm just thinking, just being honest, with kids, and giving them the truth, and giving them the option to explore the world, because what is it, Proverbs 3 and 5, train up a child in the way they should go, in the latter days he won't depart from it. So whatever you give your kids, they normally remember your teachings. They normally remember the things that are good for them. um
I
it'll bring it'll come back to their remembrance.
me personally, when I was coming up, man, I don't believe in no goddamn Santa Claus, no damn white man going across no. I ain't believe none of that shit. I knew who was buying that shit. You ain't had to sit up there and tell me, oh, the white man going across the world. Yeah, you had to tell me none of that because I knew it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? The truth first, I knew that was a goddamn lie. I knew my mother sneaked in my room and put some money under my pillow.
But I
So
guess my whole
Wait, what did
overall
you?
point is
no, I get, I know, I get
yeah,
what you saying. I
right,
was getting what you saying. I was
okay,
just
yep.
saying, you know what I mean? That shit there when we was coming up there, I knew goddamn well not to believe no shit like that. You ain't gonna just tell me no any goddamn thing. I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna go downstairs and the fat white man in the goddamn kitchen, you know what I mean, eating cookies and shit, talking about he bought presents. No, you gonna get your ass whipped. We lived in the hood.
Well, I know that Rumble wants to. I know Rumble has to go, so I
He
want
already
to
left.
give him a chance to close out. If he comes back, that'll be great. And in case he doesn't, Rumble, you want to give out your social media info so that people can follow you and let people know what you do since you missed the opportunity to introduce yourself.
I think he left already.
No, he's right there.
No, he calmed down. I think he just left his phone.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
see him.
because I see it sitting
No,
right
no,
there.
he's his screen is still here. He just turned off his
I
mic.
don't think he closed it out. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't close out. He
Oh,
just
so you might be muted then.
he muted and closed.
Okay.
So he said he's coming back. He's just gone. So
Oh, I thought he meant like he was gonna come back. Okay, good. All right, so he didn't go anywhere. He just came out.
he just
All right, cool. So what do you? Okay, so Leia, writes, a non-traditional relationship can offer a child many perspectives to pull from. It would offer different ways of thinking and problem-solving skills. It sounds good. I just get the ick because it just goes against what I know. So it's just like a regular normal response. I can see what you're saying though, where you said it's because it's non-traditional, right? That they do have more to pull from. My concern, I get what you said, Najee, where the children don't know, who's mommy number one and who's mommy number two and so forth. My thing is that is all good and fine if that child was confined to that household. But once that child goes out in public and then, meets up with his peers, goes to his peers' house, you know what I mean? And then it just leaves room for that child to get ridiculed. I don't know. For me, I just think it's selfish. If you have children,
wait, I think
it should
But
just be.
Trinity, even then though, like I guess I would probably understand that in the 90s, but now I don't see that now because they're exposed to almost everything.
social media.
I see
Yeah,
what you're
like
saying.
so
So
I
you're
mean,
saying that because of technology, it would be more acceptable, and the likelihood of that child getting bullied by their peers is not as much as it would be in the 90s. Granted,
no, and it
but
won't be for that. It wouldn't be for that reason. Like that, now I don't even understand what people bully for now because it's there's no rhyme or reason behind it now. Like then it was always something that was an outlier, like somebody being gay or somebody not having somebody being poor or somebody being a certain way. But now, I mean, I don't understand the rhyme or reason why like people just gang up now and just click together and it's random people. It's not even necessarily
Close proximity.
making sense. Like so, I could understand that in the 90s or even the early 2000s, but now I don't see that being a problem, especially not if you have structure. Well, I'll give you a good example. My uncle is in has two women that he lived with, and he's been doing this for like years. Like I we grew up in the church, so I had a conversation with him about it. And I was like, man, like, so how did you break the mold of what we grew up, us growing up Christian and getting into the lifestyle? And he was just like, well, he always just liked women. He always like having more than one woman, and he had more than one girlfriend. And so he just didn't want to keep going from one girl to the next girl's house. So he talked to them about it, and they were okay. They weren't going to leave him. So he talked to them about living together. So and his kids um are well mannered and he's there for them as much as he could be, and they seem to have a normal relationship, and they go to school, they do everything normal. I think the problem is when we try to broadcast it and we put it in people's faces,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we're uncomfortable with it, like normally people, it's like blood in the water. Normally, people start pouncing on something when they know they can hurt it.
Mm-hmm. And I think on top of that, like what I think you say Quell, right? I
Yep.
can't see your name. Quell.
Yes, sir.
Like what Quell was saying, the key is being honest with the kid and explaining and teaching them how to understand. Most things, the issue with society today is parents don't know how to articulate to their kids because they're too busy trying to protect their kids from being hurt, when in reality the kid will experience hurt. The key is teaching your kid how to regulate their emotions when they do experience hurt. So if somebody trying to bully you about the dynamic that you have with your parents, realize they're only trying to bully you based on them not understanding the full dynamic, and that's where they're trying to make you wrong about. So it's helping the kid understand the truth behind why this person is bullying you versus living in the story of I'm only being bullied because my parents are different. I think the key is helping. Kids are smart. When I have sessions with kids, they know more about what they got going on than their parents know. And it's like one of those things where once you start to have that safe space and you create that dynamic with your kid to where you can talk to your kid, because kids are little people too. They have a clear understanding of things as well. We just put them in boxes because we're like, they're too young to understand. They don't get this or whatnot. But nah, if you talk to a kid, they'll understand it. You just have to speak to them in the language in which they can comprehend. Most people have this mindset, I'm an adult, you're going to take what I say or you don't. And it's like, nah, they're not understanding what you're saying. That's why they're asking questions. And it's your job to be able to understand and meet them at their level and be able to articulate that so that they can understand where you're coming from. And I think a lot of times when people don't know how to articulate themselves and they don't know how to share that with their kids, now their kid starts to question things. Now that kid starts to doubt things. Now that kid starts to make, and it's like one of those things where once you learn to have a bigger influence on your kid than society can, that's when you start to make a difference in the world. And most people don't understand that because they don't like themselves. So it creates a disconnect there.
Nadi, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Because you said you work with kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If the generation today was raised when we was raised, do you think it will be a different generation or better generation?
If today's generation was raised differently from how we was raised or raised the same way?
No, raised the same way.
Nah, I think the way we were raised was the reason why the world is the way it is. Nobody liked the way they were raised because of the fact that it was a lot more force and a lot more you gonna beat into submission. You gonna listen to me. I don't have to listen to you. You a kid. So it creates more of a disconnect. So now we're growing up resenting our parents, not wanting to be the version of our parents that they were to us. So now we're raising our kids differently. And I think that's really the key, is because of the amount of hurt that we endured as kids, not realizing like, no, our parents were only doing that because they were hurt and their moms were hurt. So now the cycle stops based on the understanding how to almost like connect to your kid more of an authentic space versus a forceful space, more of a you need to obey me, like a dictatorship. Now it's more of a, okay, let me talk to my son, let me talk to my daughter and understand what's going on with them, because back then our parents didn't care about that. You feel some type of way, well, you need to straighten up your nose, you cry, go, I don't care, go cry. But it's like, nah, that's
Well,
not the dynamic.
a lot of us are live in a poverty mindset too, though. A
Yeah,
lot of parents don't want you to do anything wrong because I can't afford to bail you out, or I can't afford to
exactly.
do certain things. And if you do this, then I'm already in the hole. So I'm more worried about our financial situation and just getting you to adulthood. Shahrazad Ali said something pivotal. She was like, raising a child, you know, like giving it food and water and clothing it is not raising a child. That's maintaining a child.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Raising takes more. It takes you spending time with that child, talking to them, seeing what's going on with them, helping that, like you said, navigate through, um, helping navigate through those things.
But you got
100%.
some of the parents be trying to be friends with their child more than you trying to teach your child the right and wrongs. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why some of these kids out here doing what they doing now. Yeah, I mean, some of these parents sit there, they smoke weed with their children. Some parents, they sit there, smoke cigarettes with their children. They sit there and cuss, fuss, whatever with their children, shit like that. And they more of trying to be friends. I don't know if if it's a afraid thing or what, but they more of trying to be friends than trying to be parents.
I think the key with that is one, understanding a lot of the times the dynamic and being a friend. I tell people you should be your friends with your kid, because of the fact that when establishing a friendship, the kid is more open to coming to you with things. A lot of times the stuff that kids were going through, they didn't feel safe enough to come to their parent because they felt like their parent would ridicule them or make them wrong for it. So I think the aspect of being a friend, there's a limit on it, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you teach the kid as a way to help them understand. Most parents are doing this in front of their kids and then turn around. I don't know if that's me. Come on, they're doing this, they're doing these things with their kids, or they're smoking cigarettes or smoking weed and not explaining what it is and how it's affecting. Then they're like, don't do what I do differently. So then there's that dynamic. And then there's also the same dynamic in which parents are trying to create a connection with their kid, but they don't understand. In order to create an authentic connection with your child, you have to, one, understand their kid, but you also have to, one, understand yourself. And I think where parents mess up is they're not trying to be their kid's friend, but in them not trying to be their kid's friend is creating a disconnect, because now you're trying to dictate and project onto your kid versus allowing your kid to be who they are and connecting with them in that space of being authentic and telling them the truth about why you're doing what you're doing and whatnot. Because we have this idea or this mindset that kids can't comprehend adult stuff. But the thing is, most kids can comprehend adult stuff. We just put a limitation on their mindset based on our level of awareness within ourselves. And I think this generation of kids are way more advanced because each generation is getting smarter and smarter, just due to the fact of how the world is progressing.
Yeah, and I agree. I just think a lot of times too, our ability to relate to one another is very skewed.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times how we deal with one another, how we talk to one another, um, how we have relationships, man, is very unhealthy. So a lot of
100%.
times, huh?
No, I was saying 100%. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, yeah, and like how kids see how to love is definitely causing a problem, because then if I'm not able to really view it from mom and dad, then I kind of go through trial and error and see through the lens of somebody else who doesn't know what they're doing, and they're telling me, hey, I love you, but if you love me, you'll do this for me, or if you love me, then you'll do that for me. And I just think that we have to, you know if somebody wants to do something, a lot of times we can't stop them, but we can be a guide there to show them, okay, these are the things that could happen should you go down this path, because I see certain things in this person that they're showing. You know what I mean? Because normally they try to go totally against the person. This person's bad and you shouldn't be with them. And it's like, no, son, daughter, I feel this way about this person because they are exuding certain characteristics that that could go bad. Let me meet them. Let's sit down and talk. And both of you, let's sit down and talk, and let's figure out what are they expecting? What are you expecting? Because clearly I can't stop you from doing this, but I need you guys to understand the ramifications of what will happen should this go any further.
100% agree. 100%. I think it takes a mature, understanding person to really understand that. But most adults are just emotionally unregulated children. Most people are having kids from a place of, oh, when I was a kid, I knew I wanted to be a mom. I'm like, you knew you wanted to be a mom at 10, and you think that's your same perspective on life as a 10-year-old equates to how it is when you actually have a kid that you're responsible for, who's going to trigger you because they're literally mimicking everything you do because they learn who they are by mimicking you, and you don't even like you. So then you're going to project on your kid and make your kid wrong for mimicking you because you don't like you, and now you're trying to make them be a certain way, and you're wanting them to be the version of you that you wasn't for. Like, it's a lot of disconnect because of the fact that society's never taught, like you were saying, Quail. I want to make sure that we're not taught how to relate to one another. We're taught big I, little you, or big me, little you. Like, it's one of those things where it's like we're not connecting from more of an authentic space. We're not connecting like, I see you, you see me. This is how I understand me. Help me understand me so I can help you understand you type of thing. It's more of like, no, you need to do what I say, or you need to be this way, or if you don't, I'm cutting you off and it's over with. And it's like, there's no safety in that. So now people are pretending to be one way in the beginning, and then once they get you, they start to be another way. It's like one of those things. Now people are having kids. I thought he would be a great dad, and then you have a kid by him and realize he wasn't a great dad. He just wanted to have sex with. It's just so much going on because people are lying and manipulating because we don't know how to relate and love, genuinely love ourselves.
Yeah, we're trying to
This,
manipulate people into our own answer. Oh, go ahead, Twan.
um, this is where I was getting my mind right, but this is why I asked you this question, Najee.
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of us, we why I say if they still had what we had when we was coming up, will they be a little different? Me personally, I think it would be because, and you gave me your answer too, Najee,
Mm-hmm.
but my answer towards for that is I think if we did have that, some of the kids, because some of the kids came up in our era when we came up fine. Some of them law school, probably some of them doing career shit or got their own shit going on. So we can't always blame it on like some of them was disconnected from coming up in our era. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think when we was coming up, we had our grandparents and shit like that. You know what I mean? We had a stable stability situation because our grandmas and grandpa, we wasn't going for none of that.
But I think that's the problem though, Twan. And I,
Okay.
I got on a guy on another live about this. Uh
Hmm.
there was a lot of dudes in the 80s that were fuck ups.
Hmm.
Uh there's a whole lot of dudes in the 80s that were fuck ups, that were drug addicts, that were abusers, that were drunks. And unfortunately, I'm 33, so I'm a product of that.
Hmm.
And a lot of cats my age didn't better themselves off of it. So I'm not putting it all on them. But a
Right.
lot of those cats were running game. A lot of those cats were on drugs. A lot of those cats were out of their damn mind. And so I think that it took grandparents stepping in to be the example, to help us along the way. But a lot of people weren't having they were not having kids under the right circumstances, and a lot of the men weren't present because a lot of them were on drugs or on alcohol or whatever the case is. Now,
Right.
was that every man? No, but I'm just going off of in general. I have a whole bunch of uncles that are drunks and alcoholics and drug addicts, and so I had to figure things out on my own. So
Right.
I think the bigger problem is us getting our mental state together and having kids when we're in a mental state to be able to guide them and have them for a reason other than I just wanted to fuck something.
Right.
All right. Well, that was a lot. Okay, that was a question. I have another question. You ready?
Go ahead, shoot.
Oh man, there's so many. Um, Here go one. I already know Najee's answer. He's gonna say yes, but that's because he's weird. Next question: can there be respect for a woman who openly sleeps around while in a relationship? Uh, Twan, you look like you want to answer. You want to give it over to Quell or Najee first?
No, I'm gonna answer. Hell no. Hell no. Shit. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
and
You
why?
you in a relationship and you decide to step your ass over there and do some goofy shit, you think you're gonna get some respect from me? Hell no. No. No.
Well, look, man. I'm gonna say what I said earlier, and the reason why I say this is that I'm glad you know that, and I'm pretty certain that you let people know that when you get involved with them. Um, I think the problem is that a lot of cats go into something, and not even just cats, women do this, but I'm speaking on men right now, is that go in it saying, if I could just get her to do this, then she'll be perfect. I know she's a stripper. I know she does OnlyFans. I know she does all of these things. But if I could just get her out of it, I could take care of her bills and I can make sure she does all these things, and she'll just be perfect for me. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna take this woman on, and I'm gonna. Pretty Woman probably was the was a horrible movie for people to watch because it pretty much said, "Hey, I'm gonna clean you up and I'm gonna take you out this lifestyle and everything's gonna be okay." And it's like, look, I don't look at it that way. If my wife came to me and said and came to me and said something like that, that's something we could talk about. I'm not gonna sit here and act like if I could ask her to open the relationship up for another woman, why couldn't she ask me for the same thing? So I'm not thinking. That's why I brought up the example of, because most of the time when this comes up, most dudes are focused on, what did he do this better? Did he do that better? And I'm
Comparison.
not. No, I'm not thinking about if another man is banging you out and what he doing. So that's why I brought that up earlier.
No,
Let me ask you, well,
I
hold on,
get what you.
hold
I
on,
get.
Well, let me
Okay.
ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Which, so I get that you're not like crotch watching. I get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is it safe to say that if your wife
Mm-hmm.
decides she's done with this monogamy BS, she wants to sleep with other men, you're okay with that? You'll still be able to respect her the same way tomorrow as you did last week before she started on this sexual rampage?
Yep, because I know her.
Mm-mm.
You and Najee will be good spuds. Yep.
Mm-mm.
Because I know her.
Can I respond?
Go ahead.
Can I respond?
Yeah, the floor is yours.
I'm gonna tell you like this, my man. You step your ass out there. You on your own. I ain't got no fucking respect for you. I'm tell you that. I ain't no come and talk to me. Yeah, me. Oh, can we? No, fuck no. Where the fuck you even get the mind for? You even think some shit like that?
See,
You know
that
what
was
I'm saying? So you do it. I already warned you.
But I think that's a different thing. What I'm talking about is not someone going out and being dishonest towards you. This
I
is
yeah.
don't care. But
I
see,
don't.
I'm telling you either way.
They're
I
not.
don't care. I don't care if this. No, no, we ain't playing that game. No, we ain't gonna mess around with all that. No, no, no. It's
but I'm
either
saying
me.
I'm
But
saying
that's
you.
what.
It's either me or you gone. Plain and simple. Now you take your choice. It's, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Take your choice. Either me or you gone. Like
So
what?
there's no talking it out. There's no.
Oh,
Nah, but
oh.
once I felt that sensation in my chest that I was uncomfortable with feeling, I had to make you responsible for it. So I had to disconnect from you because you're the reason why I feel this way. I get it, by all means.
No, no, no,
No,
no,
that's not it. If he was okay with how he,
no, no. I mean, because, all right. Now, the reason
help
why
me
I have to
understand.
say no is because, and I hate to say this, I'm kind of on Twan's side with this one here. Okay. Um, it has nothing to do with me projecting or anything. It's I didn't sign up for this.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying? And if I didn't sign up for it, you can't change the script in the middle of the relationship.
Wait, it's in the middle. Well, maybe I responded.
Well, I mean, okay,
Yeah,
like,
maybe I missed. I missed. I didn't think it was a. We signed up for this, and then we got to that point,
But
and then
well, I mean,
that's the thing.
even
That's
okay,
his
so,
wife.
but see, he wouldn't even get into a relationship with a woman who sleeps
Yeah,
around to break
so
up
that's
with
what
her.
I was going with. The
yeah.
feeling
I'm
there.
just listening. I'm not like she said. I'm not getting into a relationship with a female, and she feel like she want to mess around with this person, that person. Nah, if that's what you want to do, keep it pushing. I'll let you later. You know what I mean? If it ain't about me and you, I'm good.
And,
You know what I'm
and to,
saying? I'm good on that. But if if I'm like my man, like I'm still married to this day. You know what I'm saying? But y'all already know I don't deal with her. Married situation, and she decided she wanted to, like Trinity said, change the game in the mix and talking about no, hell no. I ain't got you step
So
your
look,
ass out there. I ain't got no respect for your ass. That's
so
the plain
so,
simple. Because
so
you
look,
disrespected me.
No, I get it.
so
I definitely understand.
so the thing that I'm speaking on is that the thing is that I think the way that we think about relationships, the way that we think about people, is that we think of a forever and the person will never change type of mentality, and we don't allow room for. Go ahead, go ahead, bro. You were saying something.
Rumble.
No, go ahead. I'm listening to
No,
you.
rumble.
Oh no, I was just saying I wanted to speak when you were finished.
Okay, but we don't leave any type of room for growth and grace, and that's more than fine for anybody. That's more than fine if you're not okay with that. I'm
Yes.
not saying that someone should be okay with it or shouldn't. The problem that I find that most people do is that a lot of times we don't leave room for grace for someone to actually be able to be that open with you. Most of the time we go in it with a certain mentality that somebody knows that, oh, if I tell them this, they're gonna go off, and I can't really be open with them about it in the first place.
No
Like,
safety. Hmm.
no, we're really rigid, and we think that we think that we're safe spaces for people, but most most people aren't. Most people can't be open with people. Most people can't tell you that. So most people feel like I have to hide this, because if I unveil this, you're going to expose me, you're going to make me feel uncomfortable, and you're going to make me feel unsafe.
And you're gonna trigger me.
No, that's not true.
Mhm.
It's if
I
you
don't
tell
think that.
me, it's if I tell her, then I'm going to be without a relationship. I'm going to be without her. You
You
see, I
don't
think it's just a selfish thing because
I
you
don't
don't give the person the choice to choose, because it's like you're in church. Because it's like you got to
well,
jump over.
I know Rumble wanted to say something too.
Yeah, that's why I was just
Yeah.
waiting.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm
It's all
sorry.
good.
I got the ick. I was projecting.
So I want to touch on a couple things, specifically one thing that Kel said, because it's a sentiment that I've heard a multitude of times, and that is the perspective of, I'm paraphrasing here, that the logic of our grandparents no longer applies because our parents fucked it up. And I've heard that kind of perspective specifically from, I guess millennials that would be between the age of 30 and 39. And I find it to be quite illogical because it's like saying, all right, right now we're living in the byproduct of purposeful intent, mind you, to put us in these circumstances of broken homes. So now that we're living in that byproduct, we might as well use this as the new norm and dismiss what our grandparents are telling us because that no longer applies. When the reality of the situation is they're telling us the things that have always applied. This new age way of thinking when it comes to relationship is that it's just that it's new. And where I'm leading to is everything that you guys are talking about and how you're framing it is devoid of children. So if a woman is out participating with multiple partners and I think of myself as with her and she comes back and is pregnant by another man, that is going to change the dynamic of the relationship. And this is where I can just see that we have framed relationships solely based off sex for pleasure versus sex for procreation. Full stop.
That's
So
what
I
I,
and the thing I would say though is that I'm not even directing it towards that. What I'm saying is that what a lot of people haven't put themselves in that mindset. So a lot of people think a lot of things in life, and they don't go any further because most people are hindered by the community, about by what's around them. So what I'm saying is that the overwhelming majority may think like I do, or may think like Najee. But guess what? They're not gonna think that because they feel like somebody is going to
judge them.
is, judge them on it, or shun them about it, or shame them about it, And I'm not saying that we shouldn't think like our grandparents. The thing that I was doing about the whole grandparents thing was that a lot of what was happening was a lack of our fathers. We had to lean on our grandparents because the lack of the fathers being there. Whether that was due to the father not being there or the mother not allowing the father to be there.
And then on
I,
top of that, even with the traditional stuff of how the like it's interesting because when people focus on traditionalism, they don't actually take the time to actually talk to their grandparents to understand it. It's like my grandparents did X, Y, and Z, and it's like, what was the dynamic? How was society back then? Society back then, women weren't able to work as much. They needed to be in a relationship. They needed to have the woman's value was literally based on her ability to have a son. Like it's one of those things. The woman's value wasn't based on who she was as a person. It was what she could do for the man. So it's one of those things where traditionalism things shifted because of women weren't actually happy because they didn't have the pro-choice. They wanted the choice. They wanted to choose to be able to do the things, but they didn't have the freedom to choose that because they were forced. Because if you wanted to divorce a man, you got the church going against you, you got your sister, you got your whole family shunning you, making you run for it. So it's understanding the dynamic of how things were back then served the purpose for how things were back then. Now to almost be like today in today's society and going back to how things were back then, women didn't have the same freedom that they had now back then that they
That's
did.
bullcrap.
But
I'm sorry. That is absolute hogwash.
What's
Let me tell you
bullcrap?
something. All right.
Oh, she took her
Oh,
glasses.
she took the glasses
Oh,
off. Uh-oh.
I've been waiting for this one right here. All right. Carrie, because I don't want to be distracted by the comments as if our room is so live and the comments are scrolling so heavily, right? This idea that women back then had no rights.
Never said no right.
Wait.
Never said no right.
Hold on. Had no rights, had no options, had no skills or the ability to make money. How do you think dresses were made back then? You show us how it wasn't the husbands making them dresses. No, they were seamstresses, right? Women back then were also giving piano lessons. They were more in their creative femininity. They weren't out there working the 9 to 5. They didn't have to. They were at home making money. Women back then were nurses. My grandmother was a nurse. While in America, while my grandfather stayed in Jamaica, my grandfather never stepped foot on American soil. But when my grandmother took her last breath, it was on American soil. So my grandmother worked, and when she worked, she sent the money back home. This idea of feminism was about equality because women didn't have equality back then. That's a lie. Feminism was all about pro-choice. It was the choice to choose to work outside the home to do the manly man job. But it wasn't because she was broke. It wasn't because she wasn't working. You had a subset of women who didn't want to do the domesticated stuff. You understand? So they wanted to choose to work outside the home and not do the family value thing. But women, women back in the days, they made money.
Wait, where did I say that they wasn't making money? I'm sorry, because you disagree.
Because you were saying in the sense like back then they weren't afforded as much opportunity.
Yeah, they wasn't making as much money. It was
they didn't have to make as much money. That's the thing.
This is what I was going with. It was a community. It was a survival. They got married as more of a survival thing. It was a survival. How many single women back then had their own house and was doing stuff on their own?
Because you know why?
It was a culture. Society pushed that. Mm-hmm.
No. Back then, the values were different. Today, value is money. Back then, value was family.
But that's what he was saying, though, Train.
That's all I was saying.
So hold on. Value was family back then, right? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's illogical, and I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Because you said a bad word. You said happy. You said that women back then weren't happy. And today I had a conversation with Trinity, and she was talking about women dating over the age of 40. Do you think those women are happy? Do you think the change that has happened has created an overall uptick of happiness within women now that they are more empowered and in the workforce? Because that's the root of your logic in regards to why things
That's
went
not
into
the
this
root.
drastic change.
You
Just what you
chose
said, bro.
you took that one thing out of everything I said and made it wasn't about being women weren't happy. They weren't happy being married because there was a lot more control. They didn't
How
have a
do
lot.
you know?
But
For me, I'm speaking on my experience and
No,
why.
I know. I'm just asking
that's
you.
what that's what I'm
Talking, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know?
Talking to older, like I'm not one of those people that just go and just be okay. This sounds no. Talking to them, understanding the dynamic, seeing how grandpa had women. I don't know how it was
But bro,
with how grandpa had women on the side and how that wasn't something that they were into. I know a lot of women who wanted to leave older. They would love to get a divorce, but their parents made them wrong for it. Their family, the
Do
community.
you know back
I know
then,
in
real
my
quick, real quick, do you
experience,
think
I
it could
can't
be a
speak for
thing back then? The reason why they didn't get the divorce was because the laws were different in that when the woman left the house, she had to leave her kids behind. She had to leave the kids and the husband. So the laws being different today, where the woman can leave and take the kids, that's why the woman felt as if she was stuck. It wasn't because she was destituted and broke or whatever. I
no,
think then because, or the inability to not make money or whatever. I think the unhappiness was her inability to work with that man in a way that they can work out whatever issues they have. But she felt stuck because she couldn't leave her kids. That's never spoken about. That was the law back then. When a woman left the marriage, she left the children behind. How many women are willing to leave their children behind to start a whole life over?
well, and I was gonna say that
Right now?
yeah, not right now.
No, I'm asking Trinity right
Oh,
now. You talking
Right
about
now,
right now?
what?
How many women are willing to leave
yeah,
their
they might
kids
be.
right now?
They might
Zero.
be. They
None.
leaving them in
No,
the
man,
car and
because
shit,
I
and
can't
it's at
wait
the
to get left
club, so you
behind.
never know.
No, not right now. Because
Hell
I can't
no,
wait to get
no.
left behind. I'm talking about
The
back
child
then.
Yeah,
is
they
a
drop
weapon
them off
now.
at grandma's. You stay with grandma for the year.
Oh yeah,
But
no.
but it-
Right now, I mean back then, no, hell no, they ain't leaving shit.
But no,
But
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 right
Trinity,
that's
now,
but
no,
that's
yeah.
it
but that's
wouldn't.
what I'm
No,
under like
they,
community.
they wouldn't leave today neither. They wouldn't leave.
That was what I was talking. Like society has pushed the narrative. Women didn't have the free. They was shunned. They was looked down upon if they were. That's why when you gonna get
It
married,
went
when you gonna
against the
get
norm, is
it
what
went
you're
it was
saying.
against. That's all I was saying. They
the,
weren't
Okay.
women weren't happy in those spaces because if there wasn't a law that restricted them from leaving their kids, would they leave? Of course they would leave because they weren't. They didn't enjoy. There was no safety in relationships back then because the man was big me, little you. You need to obey. You need to do what. The roles were different, but it made sense for how things were back then. Today's society is not the same. That's all I'm saying.
but this is what I'm saying, bro. Like what you're saying connotes that every relationship 50, 60 years old fits this logic in what you're saying, which is not the case. There
I
are
didn't say
plenty of
Well, maybe
hold
ask
on,
him.
hold on, hold on.
You
Okay,
can
just
ask him what is the percentage of does he think we're unhappy? So I can
no.
say
I'll let him finish his point.
but what I wanted to say is that one thing that we as men don't understand specifically in this time frame that we're in right now is that we can literally look to the problem. It still exists. And that looks like 60 and 70 and 80-year-old women telling their granddaughters, yeah, baby, you should just live your life. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have married your grandpa. Basically, your ass wouldn't exist. I would have been out doing whatever the hell I wanted to, and I wouldn't have settled down and have a family. So that's where a lot of the mentality of the modern woman comes from. It's not because of what they have actually experienced. It's the information that's been passed down by disgruntled women.
Wait,
And
so
that's what the new norm is based off of. It's not really based off of anything that's rooted in reality. It's based off of specifically those people who were unhappy. And that's why those situations have been exploited. And we as a culture are suffering from it because the formula that has worked for hundreds of years now is like, it's like it don't even exist no more. People, we pretend like it don't exist. Like there's no successful examples of 30, 40, 50-year unions. Now, the statistics are going to definitely say that in the last 30 years that the divorce rates have went up. But like I said, that is very recent data. And we can literally look and see why that is and point to what those problems are. So to just say, yeah, this is the new norm as if it's working, to me that's like dysfunctional, because there's 40-year-old women talking about dating. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all stop.
Well,
Cease and desist.
I'm kind of confused. So you're saying what? Just so I'm understanding, are you saying the older women who was in those traditional relationships back in the day are telling the younger women, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have married your grandpa? Is that what you're saying? So I'm understanding.
Yes.
So
yes.
you're validating my.
After the grandpa's dead.
How do you go against what? Okay.
After grandpa's dead.
Okay, so you just made his point.
Wait, you're trying
Like,
to go against
literally
what I'm
just
saying?
made his point, because I thought you said it's not like those women are from back in the days are telling women in these days how horrible life was for them back then. But you're saying, if I'm not mistaken, that they did in fact relay that message to this generation here. Well, not to our generation, but the generation in between theirs and ours, about how horrible it was.
I think it's a little bit of both though, because I've ran into.
I forgot he was here. I didn't even see his face. Start the shit out of it.
I ran into a little bit of
Well,
both up here. I mean, I mean on Instagram, because it's like us. You have a sector of some of these older women who do this I hate man thing, and unfortunately, they don't realize the disservice they're doing to themselves, because one, you're not really hurting you anymore, because you're honestly you're past the time where someone would be able to really do that with you anymore. Like, you know what I mean? So you're hurting the younger ones and putting this venom and this jade in them, where they're like, I got to be afraid of a man because there's nothing good that ever come from men. Because there's a lot of them that they can find no good. They can find no good in man, and it's like, look, all of that may be true. There are a lot of bad dudes out here, but guess what? It's normally the ones that you pick. It's normally not the overwhelming majority. It's the ones that you choose. It's the rooms that you place yourself in,
I
and that
think
goes
that
for both genders.
I think that comes from just bad experience. That's the reason why they speaks like that, and they can't do this, they can't find this, they can't find. I just think it's just comes from bad experience. They ain't get themselves time enough. They ain't open themselves up. You know what I'm saying? To explore.
But
You know what I
look at
mean?
what we're
I think
doing now. We're doing career pursuits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting more into pursuing a damn career than to
but
actually pursuing a relationship.
and the key thing there is the why. That's why I focus more on the why, the root cause. What is the root cause on why that was? Because there was a lot of women feeling like they were stuck. They felt trapped. They felt like they had to depend on a man for the financial, which is, yeah, people don't get it. But so now it's like, get your bag so you won't depend on a man for you financially. When it was the relationship dynamic between a man and a woman was not really about finances. We just made it a financial thing though.
So that leads me to what I was saying, bro, about how these older women are really poisoning the younger women, because these older women are speaking from a perspective of false nostalgia. And what I mean by that is they're telling their granddaughters, if I was in your position, this is what I would do. But that's impossible,
Because you're not
because you know, like, the newer age women got monetary advantages that these older women would never have. So that's really what they're looking at. They're looking at it from a place of envy. Man, if I had the opportunities that you have right now, bitch, you wouldn't exist.
But look at it though. They're in the, like, the new age grandma is on average 35 years old.
and what's your point, Quell?
So what I'm saying is that
What's your point, Quell?
they're in, most of the grandmas now are in competition with their daughters.
Facts.
I refute, but I agree.
That's exactly why I said we can look at the problem right now. It's like a living example of what the problem is these women who are jealous of their daughters and granddaughters because they have opportunities that they never had and they're poisoning the well. So now you got a
It
bunch
goes
of
back to
40-year-olds with 2 kids talking about, I'm still going to find my soulmate.
that goes back to still trying to be a friend to your child.
I don't think
Right.
that's only it, Twan. I think that's part of it. But I get where the competition comes in. And I had to get my age to realize this was a thing. So here goes, right? When you get about 40, 43-ish, and you can't find a man that's older than you, because the man that's older than you is looking for a woman that is younger than you, right? Guess what you do?
Hold on, say it
You
again.
date younger men. So
Hold on,
now
no,
the
say it again.
I said when a woman gets about in her 40, 43-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
She cannot if she hasn't found a man her age or older, what is she gonna do? She's gonna become a cougar. She's gonna date the younger guys. Do you know who the younger guys are? Her daughter's boyfriend type guys. You understand?
I'll
So
be hearing it the other way around, though.
let's say she has a daughter who's 21, right? Daughter's 21, she's 43. She can't find a man 43 and up. So what is she going to do? She's going to date the men in their 30s. Who was the daughter dating? Men in their 30s. Daughter and mother now become competitors for the same group of men.
Well, I would even say though, Trinity, I think it's a maturity thing. I think a lot of women in their 40s right now are immature
Yeah.
because of how they display themselves. Look at how a lot of these women dress. I still got it. I'm still fine. I can still, and you still going to the club with your daughter, and it's like there was a certain time where even if you went out with because I look at what my wife and her grandma in their relationship, and they go out. But her grandma don't try to don't be trying to do stuff with
Look,
her
yeah.
on that level. She goes out with her, and they might have dinner. They might go shopping together. But she's not out partying with her. She's not out doing certain things with her. It's just it's certain levels and certain boundaries and certain gaps
She's
that
not
should
trying to
happen.
keep. She's not trying to keep up with the. You know what I mean, the years, basically.
I think, bruh, I think the craziest thing is women, the older generation, they don't want to be old. They look at being old like I'm
Exactly.
still young. They look at it as like a negative thing. So it's like, nah, I'm gonna show you I'm still young. I can stand. It's like, what's
It's
wrong
called
with being
delusion.
old? What's wrong with being older? What's wrong with it's this mindset was like, nah, I'm 75 years, I'm still young. I'm like,
They
dude,
don't want to move to the
simple.
next. They don't want to move to the sage phase of life.
Man, they don't
Like a
want.
lot
I
of
know people.
dudes, a lot of men move to that sage phase where we'll reach back to the ones younger than us to tell them, "Hey, look, young buck, let me take you under my wing and let me teach you something."
Hey,
But
hey, y'all
you know,
watch. Hey, y'all watch it. Y'all watch it now, cause I ain't going that way. I ain't going there
come,
with
come
y'all
on,
right now.
come on, come on,
No,
man.
no,
We
no,
only getting older, dog. We only getting older, brother.
Oh, that's funny.
no, no.
Hey,
I'm
you.
more. I'm gonna say young for a while. Do you hear me? So I ain't going there with
Hey,
y'all.
your
I'm gonna
body,
stay right here.
your body ain't gonna say that with them aches and them
We ain't
pains,
talking
boy.
about that. We ain't talking
That's
about
funny.
that right
Hey,
there.
you want to see what's funny? You want to see if a person tell an older person about the senior citizen homes that they can go to where there's like, no, I'm not. I ain't going. I'm like, yo, y'all get cheaper housing. Y'all get discounts and deal. I'm not old. I ain't going to that.
You know
Like,
what?
Yeah, I
I'm
ain't
not.
old.
Yo,
Fuck
Oh,
all
dude,
that.
I,
you ain't. Wait a minute.
I would.
Wait. Let me find out you into like promoting senior homes on the side. We
Nah,
try to
like,
be like,
hey,
listen, housing is cheaper. You get free cable. You know what I'm
man,
saying? You get the senior phone discount. You get.
your camera
I
to the
ain't
side,
promote.
Rumble.
Go
I'm
ahead,
not
Rumble.
promoting that shit. I ain't old. Fuck that. I ain't promoting that shit.
I wanted to say that a lot of these older women think that they still got it and that they still in the game because of propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Like just a couple years ago, they put Tracy Ross Ellis ass on Essence magazine, didn't they?
Yeah.
At 50. So you know what I'm saying? This is what they promoting to our women, that they got like a second or third life, and it's really to me make our grandmothers thoughts. Like why Erica Badu don't get no fucking flack for being the thought? She all the way 50 in the fucking streets. She doing way too much.
No, wait a
You
minute.
know what? You know what though?
Wait a
It's
minute.
because
Wait a minute. Wait. I gotta get the thought part. I gotta get that shit to this new era with this video shit. I gotta get that shit to. He said grandma to the thought.
No,
But
I just
I got
pictured my grandma in her muumuu dress, thotting it up.
yeah.
It was just so
I
icky.
mean, everything that's going on like right now at this point right now is like people watching other people.
Big facts.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They see what's going on TV. They see Gorilla Glow on TV, or they might see what's our goddamn name?
Megan.
Sexy
Megan
Red.
on Megan Sexy Red
Oh,
on
Sexy
TV.
Red.
Or even one of these motherfuckers, they see one of these motherfuckers, gonna see next thing you know, they out here doing the dance or they singing a song, and you hear the car going down the street bumping one of their musics or whatever. So
But
everything is you know what I mean? So you
Coming
see,
from
well, it's
you.
not
that's
even
what
just.
everybody is following off of. I can't throw it. What my man said, I can't throw it back to what grandma was doing. He said grandma was a thought and shit. I can't throw it back to there. Everybody watching what the fuck the new age is doing now. So
Well, it's
everybody
not
want
even
to
just
be
that. You
with it.
got to think about. Kevin Samuels pointed this out too, though. It's because women waited way too long to try to find someone too.
That's it.
Um,
Yeah.
they wind up promoting this school and college thing, and instead of, the bigger problem is that people want people in the wrong phases of life. So you got to think about it. In our 20s, we're trying to figure it out, man. We're trying to figure out what we want to do, how we want to get there. And so a lot of women either don't want the dudes there because they saying, oh, they broke and they can't do this, they can't do that. In our
They all
30s, we're
about that
just
easy
kind of,
bag. They all
yeah,
about that easy bag now.
yeah.
For real.
And in our 30s, we can't we're just now kind of coming into our own and really grasping hold of life. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of times they're like now a lot of people look at dudes in their 40s and then like a lot of older women saying, I don't want someone the same age as me, because then either that or they're not mature, where a lot of dudes their age that would accept them, they're like, man, I don't want that. If I'm gonna have to deal with a younger somebody that's young minded, I might as well have a younger model where at least they look like something.
I can't
But you
distract.
know what though? You know that shit is
Do
the
what?
other way around, two ways around though. You got the older women want to deal with the younger ones, and you got the younger women want to deal with the older women, the older
Man.
people.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. More
Just
established.
say that again.
Yeah. You
You
all right.
got
You got the younger women. I mean, the older women want to deal with the younger crew, right? You got the younger crew want to deal with the older people. It's
But
like damn if you do, damn if you don't. You
but
get what I'm
but
coming
but
from?
it's been like that throughout history.
Technically, that says what I said earlier. They're dating the same pool of people
yeah.
because the older men, like a year over the daughter's age, is older,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, the daughters are dating older men, and the mothers are dating the younger men, which means that the mothers are looking to date their daughters' dates.
Right.
But here's the
And
catch.
normally those men have
Hold
standards
on.
for
Let,
their
let,
wife,
let
though.
Rumble. I was gonna say let Rumble go. He been waiting
Oh,
patiently.
my bad, dog.
Here's the caveat though. When you're talking about older women dating younger men, that is almost exclusively for play. Where as an older man who engages with a younger woman, at least there's still some time or some space for guidance to where he can
Hmm.
mold and shape her and procreate with her. Like that other
Hmm.
dynamic doesn't exist when the older woman is going after a male.
And it normally don't work out because normally that woman is condescending towards that younger man.
Yeah. Ask me how I know. I used to date when I was 18, 19, 20, I used to date 30, 35-year-olds, and my mom used to be pissed. You doing with that old ass woman? And
You were trying to get a Nintendo.
Oh wait, come on! I never even answered the question.
What's that?
The
Oh
question.
yeah.
Can there be respectful? Absolutely, 100%.
We already know your answer to
I just wanted to say it so we can go on to the next.
Okay, you want to be okay? I get you. Yeah, the answer for me is no. Only because she lacks self-discipline. She lacks modesty. Everything that's feminine is what she's lacking. Men sleep around. You know, boys will be boys, men will be men. There's a double standard. You know, I don't believe that we are equal. So this idea that women can do the same exact thing that men can do and be looked at the same way, I think that's disingenuous, because women cannot move like men and still be seen as a lady.
Yep.
Ladies don't sleep around. Ladies aren't even supposed to kiss and tell. You know what I mean? Ladies are modest because why? We are looking for the best guy. And we're not going to be able to get the quality man that we desire because we don't what is that word? We don't possess sexual temperance. What is it? Temperance. Temperance. That's the word. Temperance. So when you have when your loins get a little heated up and you and you gotta like quench the fire, douse the fire, you're gonna sleep around. It's like, nah, you're not a lady, you're a dude. So I can't respect you if you're a lady behaving like a dude. Like, what is respectable about that? You got to give me something to respect. And sleeping around because you can, yeah, nah, that's not cool.
I think with that is when trauma comes in and understanding that.
No,
And nothing to do with trauma. It's a double standard.
Ain't no damn.
You're not land. Can I even land where I'm going? Shorty, I was on your side. I was on your side. You didn't even let me land. You didn't.
Nah, man, because you made me. Because you made me trauma filled.
No, I was going with you.
Trying to be traumatized.
I
ain't traumatized.
I'm not even gonna let you land. I'm not even gonna let you land.
Y'all didn't even let me land. I was agreeing with Trinity.
No, because you know why? You know why I'm not gonna let you land? Because I did 30 minutes of counseling with you. You healed me. Okay, I'm not traumatized anymore.
No, I'm not saying. I was agreeing. I was going
with you.
I was gonna say I was going with you, and I think that the trauma aspect is when women don't know themselves, they're not assured of themselves. Now they're going out and trying to be like a man because they're not trying to be themselves because they don't feel safe being with themselves.
They don't know how.
I still agree. No, hell no. Hell no.
I'm with you, Najee.
I still don't agree. Hold on. Wait a minute, Najee. I still don't agree with his.
Well, you want to be a contrarian, man.
No,
let him land, and then we'll pick them apart.
Wait a minute. Time out. Like I said, it ain't no damn trauma she has. Go out there and fuck around. Your ass fucking around.
It is.
Why else would a woman go around and
fuck
it is trauma.
It's their way of trying to. Their way of feeling seen, their way of feeling heard, feeling like they matter, feeling like they're important. It's a transactional thing.
Wait, is it trauma or could it be misguidance?
Hurt.
Well, I tell you what,
I would say trauma.
it's
misguidance. It's the hurt.
It's misguided. Well, I tell you what, you're mistrauma. You're mistrauma. You're misguided. Your ass, all your shit gonna be on the step when you get back.
God damn, man.
Hey, Twan's been. Hey, I get it.
Done with
where I was going with it's the hurt that's governing. Like I said, I've had sessions with a woman and she's like, I'm in it right now. I just need to find somebody to have sex with. I just need, and it's like, no, you have to come on.
That's how her stress response.
You have to, you have to be okay with yourself. Like a lot of times, women aren't like going out openly doing. They're getting validation. Why are you seeking external validation? So it's not a lack of respect for self. It's just their trauma, they're hurt, and they don't know how to be a safe space for themselves. They don't know how to regulate their own emotion. So they're reacting. They're doing
loneliness, man.
So you saying they hurt? That's the reason why they're going out fucking around.
No, not necessarily. I get what he's saying. So let me do a Twanese style for you, Najee. I got you, homie. I got you.
Oh man.
Let me explain. Let me
Okay.
explain something to you. Hey, Najee, don't get caught up with her.
My name Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Don't get caught up with her.
But it's always the why for me. I always get to the root why, the root cause. That's why I'm big on why. Once you understand the why, then for me it wouldn't be a
I'm
lack of
not even
respect for the
trying. I'm
woman. I
not.
just
Be
understand the
honest
hurt.
with you. I'm not even trying to understand. I'm not even gonna
I
go
get it.
to
Hey,
understand.
I
I get
can
it. Hold on, Rumble.
I can propose a reasoning behind some of the behavior, and we were talking about this earlier. It's just a shift in priorities, where in most cultures, women are taught to seek a mate first, and then children, and then maybe a career. Where our women are taught career and money first. So what this has done, it has skewed the power dynamic, because now women are involved in conversations at work where they are in a dominant position, and they have adopted the communication styles of men, and they've they conflated that with their ability to be sexually dominant in this current marketplace, because they can pick and choose on who they're going to have sex with. So when you have a woman who is making money and now sees that as a source of power, and now is also executing her femininity and using that as a source of power, that's where things become very confused for modern women, because now they're trying to operate from both spaces. They're trying to operate from a space of sexual dominance and financial dominance. And really, no man is going to sign up for either one of those, to be sexually dominated or financially dominated. But if in the woman's mind, she doesn't have a reason to abandon that leverage, then why would she? Especially when society is empowering her to show off her body and to promote how she's a boss bitch at the same damn time.
We also neglect our sexual desires too. We neglect and abuse them. Um, just based off of how we're taught to use it and how we're taught to look at it. Um, we're not taught to use it in a very healthy way at all. Um,
Facts.
we connect our sexual desires to our feelings, and a lot of times I don't think that's a good thing either. But a lot of times we use it for gain too, and it's like we we don't realize that when we have sex with people and one another, that we build a bond with them just based off of that interaction within itself. And a lot of times we don't. It's not even our feelings. A lot of times it's because we bond with people through the act of sex, and we confuse that with love. So I just think a lot of that is being abused too, where because most people they just go into having sex at a young age. They don't. Most of their parents didn't have any understanding. They just started having a bunch of kids and you know figured it out along the way. So a lot of us are just going off of what we know, and we're not even empowering ourselves enough to figure this thing out.
You know what that bond is?
I'm
What is,
listening.
what's the bond,
That
Twan?
that bond is I call you up later on, girl.
Fucking Twan, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Another thing I think in today's society where there's a big disconnect is the fact that back in the day, a man's value was based on him having money. So women would look to guys because they made it seem like as long as a guy had money, then that means not back in Trinity. You throwing me off with your facial expression, like trying to think. Let me just land. Let me just land. She's like, wait, huh? I'm like, oh, she about to say something. But it was one of those things where we put finances on like a pedestal. Like if a guy has money, so now women tried, okay, now if I make money, we're equal, we're the same, we're on the same boat because we're both making the same amount of money. When it wasn't, a man wasn't a man based on the money he was making. It was his character and who he is and what he could teach the woman. Most men nowadays, they can't teach women anything because they don't know themselves. Because
Yep,
as long as I got that
all the
bag,
time.
you could tell. As long as I got that bag, I'm good. And it's like, no. What is your relationship like to yourself? When that money leaves, do you still feel like no, you don't feel like you're a man because you don't feel like you're enough prior to having that money. So now we have this money and it's our way of like, oh, now I have value. Now I have a sense of worth. When it's like, no, your value and your worth comes from you being able to understand and connect to yourself, not based on what you could do for somebody externally. It's about your ability to teach them and help them learn and help them grow. A woman with money, it's crazy because the women that I've talked to that had money, they still look to me that had more money than me. They still look to me as based on my ability to teach them something. So they were still learning. It wasn't about the money. When a guy comes to a woman and talking about, yeah, I got that bag, I could buy it. It's like, I have my own money. I don't need you to bring the money to the table because I have my own. So now women are competing with guys because they feel like a man's value is based on his pockets. That's why nowadays women talk about, you got to make 6 figures, 7 figures to talk to me. And it's like, what are you bringing to the table? My looks? And it's like, no, what? That
If
don't
I
work.
may,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I feel kind of bad right now for a lot of these women, all jokes aside, right? Because they're making money so that they can get the man that makes more money than them. They're not competing with the man as much so, I think, as they are trying to secure a certain type of man without even knowing what that man wants.
Right. Trying to place themselves in the room.
And they think, and the craziest, I'll say one thing quick and you got to run by. And the craziest thing, especially when I talk to women, it's like, what does he want? What does he see? It's like, I know what I bring to the table. I'm loyal. And it's like, not all guys want the same stuff. Just because your ex wanted that from you, don't mean the guy that you deem is better than him, because you always look to elevate. You want somebody who makes 7 figures, 8 figures, but you're bringing to him the same stuff you brought to your ex who was making $10 an hour. So what do you like? It's not going to be on the same level, because if you want something elevated or you want somebody who's in a higher status, then you have to be somebody differently. But most women, or most of society as a whole, they don't look at themselves. They have this overcompensate. I know my worth. I know my value. This person, it's like, you're lying. You don't even feel like you're valuable because 100% of the relationships you've been in hasn't worked out. You haven't had a successful relationship yet. So how do you know what you bring to a relationship when you've never brought something successful? I mean, you never brought something of value to a successful relationship to even know. But again, it's an overcompensation. That's because of the internet. People get on the internet and, yeah, I'm this way, I'm that way, and they think that's the life. And I'm like, nah. And then they, behind closed doors, they calling me having sessions because they feel like they're not enough. And I'm like, bro, you can't portray and be all this stuff on the internet and then come off. You're going to attract somebody who reflects you back to you, because you're not being truthful with yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. You don't know your value. You don't think you're worthy enough. That's why you keep attracting the type of guys you attract. It don't make
once you start like showing your body and all that other shit on the internet and all that other shit, you lost the value already. You lost the value. You know what I mean? I mean, if you honestly really think you gonna catch a nigga that's gonna respect you after that, you sadly mistaken. Because I know goddamn well I'm not gonna respect you if you think I'm gonna show you respect after you done just got up there and showed your body for like 20 motherfuckers that's on the internet. No,
why
I'm
would you
not
respect her
doing
any
it.
less for showing her body? I'm just curious. Why would you
No,
respect
what I'm
her?
saying, all right, you say as far as value,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Value, females gotta value everything about themselves. So if you go up and beyond it, because you got females out here, they showing their body, doing this and doing that, you know what I mean, to get money. Or doing what I'm not respecting no female that's doing that.
But I get
I'm
that.
not.
I understand that. But I'm saying, why do you respect her less for doing that?
Why I respect her less for doing it?
Yeah.
Because what the fuck I'm gonna respect you? You showing your body to everybody else. What I got respect for you for?
I think so. My thing is, I think the key with that is a lot of times guys place a woman's body on a pedestal, so they think a woman's value.
No, because if you ain't got no
Hold on,
respect for if you don't got respect for yourself, if you don't got respect for yourself, why should I have respect for you?
so when you say respect, what do you mean by respect? Because because my
you
definition
start,
and the root cause of respect is wanting another person to behave or think or speak the same way you do. So if you don't do something in the manner in which I believe is most valuable for you,
reverence, respect as in reverence, as in honor.
That's then I
Respect
get
as reverence,
so
right?
if he, okay, that
So for me, like, I respect you guys, right? None of you guys showed me your body. Thank you, probably why I respect you. I just lost a little respect for you, Naji. You gave me a shoulder. You should have gave me a knee. But you gave me a shoulder. So I lost.
I think Rumble was trying to get in there
Rumble, wait, hold on, Twan, because Rumble be patient, bro. He be so patient.
Oh, my bad, Rumble. You wanted to say something, bro?
It's all good. I mean, y'all missed. I just showed a little nipple, but
oh, come on, dog.
Let me say this before it slip my mind, though. You know what I mean? Because I don't want Najee like to misunderstand what I'm saying. It's two types of respect, brother. You know what I'm saying? Respecting the person, like respecting the person as having that conversation. We got respect for each other, not being disrespectful. Me calling you a bitch or this and that. That's what I mean. So, meaning as far as disrespect, not having respect for a person is when she starts showing her body off, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like you got to get attention from everybody to do that. I don't have no respect for a person that does that. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to respect you for that.
But that's where the trauma comes in at, because attention to a little kid not feeling seen and not feeling heard is unsafe to a child. So women,
no, you can't say that, little child, because majority of these women out here these days do what these days?
What?
Majority of these women out here today, right?
Attention.
Doing what?
Seeking
doing
attention.
What?
Getting naked at home, seeking attention, booking sessions.
I mean, if that's what you want to say, that's what
I don't know. I don't know. You asked. But where I was going with that is the aspect of wanting another person to see you, to feel seen and heard. The attention to a kid equals love. When a kid feels unseen or unheard, that means they don't matter. So a lot of times when a woman feels like she's not enough or she don't matter, she does stuff to get the likes, the dopamine hit, the ooh, I see you, the ooh, they're spending money. That it's to validate themselves because they don't feel like they're enough. So that's where I was like, the respecting. I get it, but I understand the why. Why are you showing your body on the internet? Because you feel like if you don't show your body on the internet, nobody will see you. You don't matter. Not mattering to a kid means you're about to die. And most adults are just emotionally unregulated children. That's why they react from how they feel instead of responding. You got to Rumble.
Yeah, I just wanted to say two things. I definitely want to say that I think that we need to give our men and women grace. Like I said, I'm 46, and I came up in the time where success was promoted as, or looked like, getting a good job working for someone else. So to formulate skills or trades was not really something that was promoted. Like I said, it was, go make six figures. And so, it's not to say that a lot of women don't have legitimate gripes when it comes to men not being as traditional as they once were. But I think we just really have to analyze the situation and look at it as that was by design. The next thing that I was going to say, when it comes to the modern woman and that power dynamic of them making money, I made a post last week and I asked a question. I said, why do you think that the modern woman places so much emphasis on how much money she makes? And the reason is because women be shopping for men to be kept in the house and controlled.
That's funny.
Yo, as funny as that may sound, that was me about 10 years ago. What was this, 2024? Yeah. No, I would like to say 10, probably 8 years ago. That was me. Made the money so that I can have a kept man where I don't want to control him. I want to control the relationship. See, that's the difference. I didn't want to control him. I wanted to control the relationship so that when it was over, it would be my decision.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And anytime a person have controlling issues, you already know what that means.
Yep.
Yeah. And I had
Like that.
control issues because I didn't believe I had control over my own life. So because I didn't have control over my own life, over my own existence, I can at least control circumstances. Boy, was I delusional.
Hey,
Mhm.
welcome to the world of trauma, being
That
hurt,
part.
and trying to move. Like literally, is trying to almost like I'm going to prove to myself that I'm a better version of the parts of me that don't feel like I'm good enough to begin with. So now I'm gonna try to control everything outside of me to make me feel more secure within myself, and it don't work that way. And it's like once women, like even all sexes, I'll say men and women, once they really understand how to relate and connect to themselves, then the dynamic and relationship space will shift because now you're not operating from a place of lack. You're operating from a place of love, a wholeness, more authentic you. Now I don't need to show up and be a certain way for you to accept me. I'm gonna just be me, and you either accept me or you don't. But now people are playing a role of like, I'm gonna put this woman or this guy on a pedestal, and I'm gonna keep myself in a pit. And I think that's where the issue is because we've been taught find somebody to complete you, find somebody
Mhm.
that you can grow old with. Find, and it's like almost coming from a lacking space within, like being by yourself is not enough. Not having somebody to complete you, not having somebody to grow old with is not enough. So now people are out searching and chasing for that I want to have this idea of what society taught us about. We're not realizing the American dream. They lied to us. It was all about making money. They go to school, get this degree. They lied to us. We've been bamboozled,
Facts.
and we've been living our life trying to live up to the lie as if the lie was truth when it's not. That's why the food is the way it is. That's why you got it wrong.
Loneliness.
No, I was saying that's what I was alluding to. You know, to me, it's like it's dangerous to, um, you know, just to think that what we're living in now is the new normal because it's not working out for us
Oh no.
at all, not even a little bit. Yeah, it's really bad. And when we're talking about this whole dynamic between men and women, I think it's definitely a point of emphasis to acknowledge that, like I said, it's not like there are a plethora of women in masses who are just ecstatic and happy right now. They're not content.
Well, a lot of us are lonely though. A lot of
Even
us
in
are lonely.
relationships too. Even in relationships, that's the key. But you got it.
Yeah.
Well, but and that's where I was going to go with, like, you know, when we're talking about the power dynamic and women making more money, then even this is where it gets gross. Is for men right now, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because of the amount of women are making and can make, either they're in a relationship where they're making more than the man, or they're in a relationship where they're almost making as much as the man. But either way, they can still project and you know, speak words that, you know, really like are aligned with financial abuse.
Mhm.
And emasculate the man from that financial point of, hey, you're not dominant because you're not making as much as other men. And to me, what we're all talking about is, like I said, just projecting. People are, you know, operating from a space of projection. And that way they don't really have to analyze how they're deficient and what they actually aren't bringing to the table.
Mhm.
But I think too though, I think we have as men we've gotten away from embracing our nature. Because I think a lot of times we're overly concerned about what the woman thinks. We have to understand women's nature and what they are and who
Really?
they are.
Wait a minute. That's new. I never knew that. I never
Just
considered
think
that.
Well,
just
everything
think
a man
about it.
does is for a woman, pretty much. You got to think about it. Like,
Well, just think about it like this. Just think about how our grandfathers, and I'm not gonna fully use that, but I'm using that the way that they dealt with in a healthy way with they dealt with their women. They weren't overly concerned about making the women happy.
No.
They were they weren't overly concerned about their feelings. They weren't overly overly concerned about how she felt about something. As men now, we're overly concerned about if our wives are mad or if they're upset or if they like. If you are overly dependent, if you're concerned or your main concern is making sure your woman happy, you probably never gonna be happy
Probably,
because
probably.
you're probably never going to be happy because the thing is you guys' nature as women, you're in your feelings, but it's up to us to help you guide and nurture those feelings and to make sure that you're not always in your feelings all the time, because sometimes and I say this all the time, Trinity, like I had to learn when to roar and when to be gentle. I had to learn when to be a lion and when to be a lamb, because sometimes you need that. As women, you guys are looking forward to that. That's why. That's where
Yeah.
that need for a thug comes in. You get what I mean? That's what that
Protector.
roughneck. That's where that comes in, because you need us to kind of say, nah, we're not doing that right now. This is the direction we're going. You need us to be firm. You don't need us to be thugs and degenerates. You just need us to be firm.
I don't know. I'm so confused with that, and I'm going to tell you why. I agree with you 100%. Well, right? But let me tell you what the hell is this? Oh, yeah.
Did she just drop?
Oh, whoa.
She dropped my
Wow,
phone.
But
Trinity, did you really just wait? How's she dropping? We still live when she the
she
host.
kicked
Right.
herself out.
Oh, there she go.
Oh,
My
shit.
bad. I asked myself out. I did an IG thing. It was all Rumble's fault, Mr. Containment. Anywho, and I was like, wait, what is that red button? What is that red light about? But yeah, I agree with you, Quell, in that women want men to be more dominating, right? But women don't want a leader. They don't want a dominating man because they don't want to be told what to do by a regular dominating dude. But if he was a thug or a roughneck and he says, sit your ass down, she can be like,
But you know
I'm
why?
still
It's
happy.
but it's
She's more
because
Dada.
controlling.
Dada.
us regular guys are too overly concerned. If we look, I had to do this with my
That's your
wife or
point.
whatever.
Okay, I see what you were saying.
Like I
Yeah.
learned this. Like it was a certain time where when I first got with my wife that I was still kind of doing like I'll put my foot down sometimes, but I wouldn't do it all the way. But it was one day where I just said, "Look," and I had to just be stern, and I had to stand on it. And she looked back at me, and she just shut up. She didn't say anything, and she said that was probably the most turned on she had ever been. So it was just one of those things where sometimes we have to be that way because generally you guys act out of your feelings, and you may not mean to do it, but you do it. You do it. You do
You
it,
know
and,
what
and,
it is,
and you don't know
Quell?
why.
Let me tell
I
you
know
what it
what.
is. I got the answer. Respect. Your wife
Mhm,
respects you.
mhm.
And because she holds a high level of regard, let me say that because Najee don't know what respect is, coming from me. So in the regard,
Honor. Honor. You said honor, so I'm on it. I'll be listening.
yeah, it's still Petty Wednesday. It's only 11:34. So so because there's this respect and reverence and regard for you, yeah, she is going to look to you for that, and she is going to take heed to whatever you say. But if she didn't hold that respect for you in that regard, it don't matter how much you buck up on her, she's gonna buck up right back on
and
you.
and that's
Yeah.
and
I was
that's where and that's well, I'm gonna say this before I go because I'm gonna go spend some time with her. But that's
Oh,
where we
oh.
falter at. That's where we falter
He had to
because
throw
we
that
get
one
with
out there.
women that do not respect us. We get with women we already
yeah.
know that do not respect us, and you feel
Mm-hmm.
like I can make up for it. But if she don't respect you, she will not listen.
No.
Yeah, I
You
think
just,
I was
you
gonna say.
just,
I
you
think
just.
that's the key.
Wait a
I
minute,
was going
Najee.
to. Okay.
You just tried to slide that part in there too. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go spend some
Go
time
spend
with
some
her
Well,
time.
too.
she
Yeah.
came out here earlier. She came out here
Hey,
Oh,
earlier.
Peter.
oh yeah, yeah. Let
So
them
so
know.
I
I was,
Hey, Peter.
she came out
That's
here
why I
earlier,
said
and I told her I
that's
was gonna be in there. I was supposed to be gone probably 30 minutes ago, and
yeah.
then
That's
Uh-oh.
why
yeah.
I said.
We
That's why I
appreciate.
said he slid
We
that one in
appreciate.
there because she must have walked in.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming on. I was gonna say on top of that too, she felt safe with you. I think that's the key too. A lot of times
Yeah, right.
when you putting your foot down, she knows, okay, he's serious right now. He's not going to. I think a lot of times guys try to force it on a woman, like you need
Yeah.
to, you need. So energetically, it's coming off as you're almost attacking. So now that's why I
Right.
tell people masculinity and femininity is really based on safe and unsafe. That's it. When a person feels
Right.
safe, they're in their feminine. When a woman feels safe, she's in her feminine. When a woman feels unsafe, she's in her masculine, which is the reacting, which is the fight, flight, freeze. It's that. So energetically, she knew that you were not going to hurt her. But when you put your foot down, it's like, oh damn, I ain't know you had.
They're like,
Okay, now
ooh,
she gets turned
okay,
on
okay,
versus her
baby.
being scared. It was a difference.
Okay.
She wasn't scared. She just was turned because energetically she knew you still got her back and you're still going to be a safe space for her. But she just knows, okay, I need. My dad used to bite his lip. I'd play around and he bite his lip. He knew, all right, that's okay. Let me calm down because he about to get angry. I don't want him to do that. It was one of those things where it's
And you're
the
not
sense of
acting out of fear. A lot of us act out of fear, trying to get a woman to respect us. But if you're
yes.
afraid,
Exactly.
you're I mean, I'm just saying. That's most of the dudes don't admit that they're scared, but a
Man,
lot
I'm
of
here to
dudes
be
are
there about
afraid
that.
of their women, and it's like you get with women that don't respect you, that won't listen to you, because you get with them based off of their looks. If I could just get her to do this, because she's fine, she everything else that I want, but she don't do this, and it's like that butt is a big butt. It's a big butt, and it's something that you can't just skate past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumble, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Damn. Oh, did I lose it? Um, I want to say, yeah, it definitely is about energetic transfer. And, just something to think about, like on an abstract wave, is one of the reasons why we are here and the dynamic is shifted so grossly is because men have been told for the last 30 and 40 years to operate from a place more of emotionality. So because of that, a lot of men have bought into it, R&B songs and, listening to Keith Sweat, Wine and Bag Women. And not, they didn't lost frame and to where men don't see themselves as the value anymore.
I'm
Or they don't see.
sorry. I'm sorry. Why couldn't you pick Jodeci? I mean, you went to
Cry
Begging,
for you.
Wine,
That
and Peace.
he's crying for you, my man.
It's
Jodeci
fact.
said Jodeci said it's been an hour since you've been gone. That
Yeah,
mother
Hey,
but guess
hey,
Yeah.
shit.
hey,
what?
She ain't been
Trinity,
That's
gone
put
for
obsessed.
Josie
Yeah,
an
in
hour.
this.
obsessed. That's
Time out,
obsession right there.
Hey,
but time out.
Trinity,
But they saying
don't
it
put
with.
Josie in this. Leave Josie out of
I'm
this.
putting
Hear me?
Jodeci in it because
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
know
draw the
why?
line.
They did it, but they had on Timberland. Damn it.
No.
Like,
Balance.
okay, it was different.
Hey, and the craziest thing, women think that's like, let's go back to the old R&B days when the guys was like, put these women on this pedestal. And I think that's where the issue is because it's like you're putting a woman on a pedestal. Bruh, my value, like, I'm not, what I learned from me, I can only speak for me.
But,
What I bring to the table as a person and as an individual, you cannot get from nobody else in this world. So I'm not going to almost think that you are bringing something to my life that I need you to be. So I'm going to put you on this. I don't go after, if you're not into me, it's cool. I'm not going after you. It's one of those things where we've been conditioned. We want to make money to go after the women who wouldn't actually be into us if we didn't make money. And it's
that
like,
part is
you're
gross. That's
going
mental
after them.
illness.
So now you're putting them on a pedestal and doing all this stuff. And that's the issue. If you were to meet a woman at your level where you're at and being okay with that, guys aren't okay. It's like how the older people, like, I can't deal with I know personal experience. I know older men who are like, yeah, I can't deal with no woman my age. They got to be younger. They got to be, and it's like, why though?
But
I'm
so
going to
people,
say something. Well, if I may, I'm sorry, real quick, because I'm going to forget, right?
Yeah.
Men make money, like 200,000, 500,000, a couple of millions, my friends and stuff, right? Because I know a whole bunch of millionaires. I know all of them. I'm delusional. I'm a woman. I'm a girl, Craig. So what it is that when men make themselves up, they become the prize. Those men are not putting women on a pedestal. It's the other men that don't have the money that put the woman on a pedestal because that's all that they can come with is the words. How do you get a woman? Tickle her ears. How do you get a man? you appease his vision.
But that's where I was going with it when I was talking about the energetic exchange, because really it's not about money, it's about what's innate. And a woman is going to fall into place when she feels that a man is acting out of his natural state of masculinity and it's not forced or fake. So what Kel was talking about, you know, when he was stern and his wife accepted it and she was even turned on, like I said, that's just physiology. A woman's body is designed to shut down on her nervous system if a man raises his voice. That's like it's a threat. It's a threat. Just like if a lion roars for a reason. Like, hey, everybody stop what you're doing because I might tear this shit up. Mm-hmm. So when a man is acting naturally within frame and innately emanating masculinity from a perspective of sternness and stoicness, it is in a woman's nature to fall into place.
100%.
Like just on, like I said, on a nervous system level, like, oh shit, like, because we are a more dominating force. But that's where money has skewed these lines of dominance to where, even to make it even more gross, now it's accepted in society for women to raise their voice at men and men not to be able to respond. Like, that's unnatural. That's completely unnatural, especially when you add the police into it. Now women have complete dominance over men.
I think that's one of those things where, especially the relationship spaces, we're competing against each other, and it's like it's not designed. You're on the same. I always tell people, like, y'all on the same team. Like, do y'all not get? You're going back and forth, belittling her, trying to hurt him, and it's like y'all literally on the same team. Like, you're trying to make her hurt because you're hurting, and she's trying to make you hurt because she's hurting. Y'all are on the same. Like, why
That's
not just
the problem? They're on the same team. It's called team hurt. You know, law of attraction. We attract ourselves to us. So it's by default that's gonna happen. I think that because we don't have examples, how do babies learn? We learn through examples, right? We learn language through examples. And what are y'all laughing at?
Twas sleep.
Did he just that was him that just snored?
No, he muted. He just dozed. He's like,
I ain't asleep. I'm muted. Yeah. I was muted.
What did I just say?
I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I was looking at something.
Oh, your eyes were down. I thought you were asleep.
Nigga, like, I'm high, nigga. I'm high too.
He said, stop blowing on my spot. Let me enjoy this shit.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were asleep. I'm like, it's Twan.
Oh, you just put me all on the spot.
Hey, you good?
He said he was listening to this conversation from another dimension, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to bring you back. It's not the same without Twan.
And the thing is, I sitting there watching you too. Like, I'm sitting there watching there, and I see Monday laughing and shit. So I was like, but that's what she stopped. How about what y'all laughing at?
Yeah, I know I'm funny, but I didn't say anything.
It was muted. You was muted. I'm like, Twan muted, and all I see is looking down. I'm like, oh, Twan, sleep.
No, he caught him right as he was fading.
Let me find out Twan is suffering from Huggy's withdrawal.
Yeah, he needed Huggy juice. He ain't the same without the Huggy.
Yeah, it was Huggy juice. But I think that we were lacking examples.
Facts.
So guys today, instead of being masculine in the relationship, they become tyrants. You understand? And this tyranny comes with a lot of aggression, demands, not commands, but demands. It comes with a lot of unrealistic expectations. And then we have the women, the females, who don't have the example of the relationship dynamic, which is why we are so immature in our relationships. Because, well, they're trying to get to know themselves. They're learning themselves. But You really can't ever know yourself in the absence of someone else. And the
Facts.
purpose
Hey,
for
hey, hey,
relationships. Go ahead.
hey, Trinity, I'm ready to pull the enforcer on you.
I don't care.
Uh,
I ain't
you're
scared.
running, you're running over your time, so let's go.
Oh, okay, Sleepy Joe. So now we get the
Hey,
power
that's
now.
smart.
I'm trying to lay down the law. Oh, okay. Now
No,
I see why you're single.
you
What?
cut me,
Damn.
you cut me in the time.
Sure. Like I was saying, if I was rudely interrupted by Mr. Huggy Juice. Right? What the hell was I saying? Stop that.
I got you. They was talking about raising immaturity.
Yeah, we lack maturity
Mhm.
in the social dynamics because we spend so much time in the academic parts of life, in academics, and it's called choices and trade-offs. So when you choose academics, guess what you're trading off? Social maturity.
Mhm.
You don't know how to. Women at large, we do not know how to work with them. We don't know how to work with men.
Facts.
We can't know how to work with men because we've only see our mothers do it all by herself,
Mhm.
you know, and guys don't even know how to work as men because they were raised by the women who are suppressing them their masculinity by raising up their femininity by saying, "Oh, show your emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay." Guys today are too soft, and women today are too tough.
Yep. Trauma. Hurt.
Facts.
Big
We'll make
fact.
them
And I think
soft.
on top of that, I think the major key is really understanding. I think for me, like as a man, you kind of study women to learn what women like and what they're into and being able to appease the women to get her. Nowadays, women don't actually take the time to study men. They feel like they know how all men are because all men, and it's like, is that what the guy wants? All the stuff that they feel like is valuable to them, is that what the guy deems is valuable for him? And it's not. It's like, well, I think it's valuable, so he needs to get her. And it's like, you want to be married though. You want, so it's like the things that you want requires a man, but you never even took the time to study him to understand him because you had this idea of what you think you want super exceeds whatever he wants. And it's like, no, it don't. It don't
Man,
work.
I'm done trying to understand these goddamn women. Shit, hell with that. I doubt that shit. I'm just rolling with goddamn punches. Whatever comes, comes. Fuck it.
Hey, there you go. Hey, me and Twine on the same boat. You
Got
might as well stop believing in relationships.
Man, I ain't got.
Oh, he
Hey,
did already. He
Nah, y'all
did.
just
I ain't saying believe in that. I just ain't got time to. I'm just like I ain't. Fuck all that. Keep trying to understand these goddamn women. I'm just fuck it. I ain't got time. Fuck it.
nah, y'all
And
just
you
gotta get
and
y'all
you're
just gotta
right,
get y'all a
Swan.
passport.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Swan,
Nah,
That,
bro, I'm
there
telling
you
you, the
go,
women,
one.
y'all,
That's what I
listen.
need. A
no,
passport.
hold on, time out. This idea of you need a
Going to
passport.
another country.
You see, the
Yep.
problem with the passport bros is this. It's kind of like a turtle trying to run away from home. They take them wherever they go.
Well,
So
you
they
goddamn
believe.
women act right then. Shit.
Hold
Wrong.
on, Twine. Hold on.
Wrong.
Hold on.
You ain't letting you
Wrong.
land. Let her land. Let her land.
This is the thing, right? The men that are going into these countries, they're not even studying the country. They're going for the woman and thinking that he's gonna bring her back and dominate her. He's not taking the time out to learn her culture, to see where she's coming from, to see how she operates. All he sees is what he can get from her that he's not getting from the woman in the States. Now, here's the problem with the woman in the States. To what you said, Najee, about how they want the men to want what they want, right? It's simply because they're looking at the dynamics of the relationship from the perspective of the men that want them, but it's not the men that
That they
she
want.
wants.
Mhm.
So now she becomes the prize. So yeah, those men gotta fall in line, but she hasn't even considered that maybe there's a different type of man other than the one that's not working out for her. But because that's all she's ever looking at, that's all she's ever talking about, therefore that's all she's forever attracting, she's never going to see a better quality man, even in her imagination, to be considerate of what he wants. He doesn't exist. Rumble?
So when I say, and then, you know, this is something I recommended to bros for 20 years now, and that's to get their passport. It has nothing to do with sexual tourism. It has everything to do with you being allowed to see yourself how other people truly see you and not under the guise of how America sees you.
I like that.
And that's really what we're talking about when we're saying what we aren't is because we don't have a representation of who we truly are. Because all of us are looking at examples from an oppressive lens. But when you travel outside of the country and you have foreign cultures look at you like you're omnipotent, that's how you're going to feel. And nobody's going to be able to take that away from you. So now when you come back to the States, you're going to be living in that energy to where you're going to naturally attract different types of women.
Absolutely. I like that.
And those are the women that those are the men that women say they're looking for. Men who possess true confidence because they know what their value is.
Big facts.
I agree with that.
Most guys are bro. Most of these little boys, they so insecure. Like, bro, why you trying to turn to a woman? You trying to react the same way, bro? Y'all, nobody can make me stumble off my platform when I know who I am. Like, you can't. A woman can't come out here and make me do something that I'm not gonna do, whether she was there or not. Like, people are allowing other people to have way too much influence on how they behave, and I think that's the issue, because people are insecure. Like, you can't make me do something that I don't want to do. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. But a lot of times, guys can be swayed and manipulated into doing it because they put women on this pedestal and they keep themselves in pits because it's the lack of certainty, a lack of confidence, the lack of reassurance within themselves. Because kids, we learn to be codependent on our parents. So now we're seeking external validation to feel internally good instead of realizing, like, no, I'm good being with me. You either gonna be with me or you not. I don't need you to. I'm not trying to show up and be a certain way so you can accept me, and then you accepting me, then I feel like I'm enough. Like, nah, I'm already enough, whether you with me or not. That don't change based on me being in a relationship with you.
Hey, Munch, once we get over in the country, fuck the women. Just show me where the guns are at.
Hey,
the shit. That's where the guns are at. The women that come when the guns are there.
Honey, it's ganja, not ganja.
I said ganja, goddammit. I said ganja.
That's that Merlin.
He's one of them people that be like peas and rice. It's like, no, it's rice and peas. More rice than peas. It's rice and peas.
All I'm saying is, once we get over there, yeah, just show me where the shit at. That's it. Forget the women. I'll talk to them later.
I'm gonna spit my daggone.
Yeah, y'all funny. But I'm gonna have to just get my bedtime. No, I'm just playing.
Look at Najee. Hey, Najee, that's another thing.
Man.
I'm sorry, Najee. That's another goddamn thing. You gonna stop running from me on this Madden, bro?
Oh, bro, what you about to?
I've been waiting on the smoke, and you ain't been
waiting.
I'm
about to text you.
You said that last week.
You said that last week.
No, I said text, like on my phone. I'm gonna text you so we can schedule it when we gonna play.
Yeah.
I ain't say that. This is different. This is a new me. It's a new me. It's last Wednesday me is not the same me. I change every day. You know what I'm saying?
You see, I don't like shifty people like that. People like I think y'all shifty.
He just keep running from that ass woman.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like people that change. I like people to grow and develop. But that changing thing, I'm gonna call you shifty. I'm gonna call you shifty.
I'm shifty. Yeah. You get me in a corporate setting, I'll be like, hey, I'm Najee. I'm an emotional awareness specialist. You get me in the hood, and then it's like, hey, bro, do you sit? You just.
All right, I'll go with that.
That's all. It's the same as you. This ain't.
No. That's you and Twan right there.
So you the same. You don't shift. You all. No matter what, you 100% you in every environment, every setting. You speak the same.
Yep.
Are you the same you? Are you the same you was yesterday?
Stop peppering me with questions. One question at a time.
Okay. Are you the same person you was 5 years ago?
Hell no.
Dude, You know what? All right, Najee, next question.
Oh yeah, we
My
got more
alter
questions.
ego done answered for me. Next
Grown up.
Yeah, I am the same wherever I go. I'm just a really big spirit. I cannot be contained to just one way. You know,
So you a
you
shapeshifter.
get. You know what? You're not gonna make me weird like you. Okay, stop
You're
trying to
not the
weird me
same
out.
person. You're not the same person 2 years
Swan, I
ago.
don't need your help. Okay, you done already
All right.
sunk me.
I was just trying to help you out because you're not the same person you was 2 years ago.
How
You
you know?
because you emerged to better growth.
All right, you
Okay.
got that. You right. I was single 5 years ago, but you don't gotta bring up old stuff. This is a new day.
So we the same.
Mhm.
You a shapeshifter like me. That's
I'm
what I
not a
mean.
shapeshifter. I still look the same. I was
I
still a girl back then. Oh, thank you, Rumbles. Oh, thank you. Say something. Say a whole lot.
I appreciate y'all having me up. I'm gonna go
Oh, this
ahead and
world's about to
peace
end.
out.
Hey, I
You about to
appreciate
help
Rumble
me.
for coming on.
You
I
running.
enjoy when the
Yeah, we
people come on to the
appreciate you, bro. We
Not
definitely
a
appreciate
problem.
Definitely.
If you guys want to tap into, I got a channel that I'm starting off here on YouTube. It's 25 to Lifestyle Sentence to Thrive.
Oh yeah.
You got
Wait, hold on, wait. Repeat that. 25 to life.
25 to Lifestyle Sentence to Thrive.
Oh,
25 to
lifestyle.
lifestyle, sentence to thrive.
You gonna post it on your page, man?
Yeah, it's I got it. It's his own page on Instagram. I'll send you guys the
Oh
link
yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah. I'll follow you
All
and
right.
stuff.
All
Yeah,
right.
that'll
Cool.
work. Hey, I'm about to be gone too, so I'm gonna do my little exit in and yeah.
Peace.
Hey, make sure y'all follow me on IG at Healing with Najee. Make sure y'all follow me
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok, Facebook, all of the above at Healing with Najee. If you want to learn how
And
to
me,
properly regulate your own emotions and you want to learn to heal that childhood trauma, make sure you click the link in my bio. All right, you got it.
Oh, and in case y'all was
Oh,
wondering, the T-shirt that's right here, it says "Drizzle Drizzle."
oh yeah, I gotta get more on that. I like that.
Drizzle. Also, Rumble want to shout out your social.
oh nope,
No,
no, we don't.
You clicked out.
that's it
He's like,
now.
Name is Twan.
I'll put it in the description. I'm sorry,
Name,
Twan. Go ahead.
name is Twan. You can reach me cut_43 or even cut_47. Thank you for coming through. It was a good show tonight. We definitely appreciate y'all. So, but we gotta get out of here. It's almost 12 o'clock. So, peace out.
Yeah, you can follow me on here. No, I'm joking. Nah, you can.
in and
What
out.
is my thing? Oh wait, what am I? N._D._Trinity on IG. Yeah, I don't have a lot of aliases like Twan over here. I'm a good girl. My page don't get reported and shut down like
It
some
don't get
folks.
reported shut down either. It just got stalkers.
Oh damn, Twan got
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not that desirable. I'm not stalkable.
Hmm. You get like that sometimes.
Yeah,
But
it's okay. I listen. If I ever need to be emotionally
you know
regulated,
what? Hold up. I did this to
I got
Najee last week, right? I did this to Najee like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." You can't have the last word.
I'll
Hey,
make you famous.
funny.
I'm about to make you.
Funny.
Hey, this is Trinity. This is Najee. This 12. We out. We love
Yeah, I
y'all.
appreciate y'all.
Later. Stay magically
Yeah.
delicious and remain spiritually defined. Later.